Why?
Overpriced cheesecake.
Go to
Hashtag
Disney
standards.
Quest. There, you can have that.
That and we do have a PF Chang's, but that's in Lancaster.
You are only making your area sound more redneck as you want. You're like, we need the big chains.
We do.
Tell you what, we all can go to Cheesecake Factory in Vegas.
Well, yes.
Welcome. We're the Diz Idiots. Apparently, we're having Cheesecake Factory in Vegas.
Yeah. With Jack the Clown.
And may I be the first to say to all of you, this is the Forever Horror Nights, baby!
Yeah.
Okay.
This Horror Nights is forever!
I have a question. So, this news broke, yesterday?
Yes, it did. Oh, yes. We got news from Disney, Universal, you name a park. We got news, baby.
Yeah.
But here's my question about this Universal news, especially about a Forever Haunt yesterday. Are you idiots? Tomorrow's Friday the fucking 13th.
They should have announced it yet tomorrow.
Yeah.
maybe tomorrow they'll announce the actual house.
No, how's this?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I have, believe me, I have theories. I think Universal showed their entire plan in that very first picture, told me everything I need to know about this attraction.
Well, tell us what we need to know.
Okay. The picture shows a bunch of people getting scared, and it shows some shadowy figures standing under a decrepit-looking building. Of course, who's leading the charge? Who else? This is how you know they're not messing around. This is serious. They are rolling out Jack the Clown. They're taking this seriously. But it's Ringmaster Jack, who premiered at 2007's event, HHN 17's Carnival of Carnage. So that's big, and that's big because that was the big year they first had real big IPs. Everything was Jack standing there as Ringmaster outfit holding 3 cards, featured one for each of Leatherface, Jason, and Freddy.
Well, here's my question. Do you think they're allowed to use those IPs out in Vegas?
Well, that's what I'm getting at here. I'm not saying those 3 specifically, but they're allowed to use IP. It's the IP they have attached, and that's where I'm going with this. I think they're good because they said they're going to have seasonal, rotating in and out. I think you'll have some original stuff. I'm thinking 3 to 4 houses max because you can have 2 going, 2 working. You can always rotate things around. But something I noticed, and that's what getting the wheels turning in my head. Halloween, HHN in Orlando put up that We Like Dolls. Obviously, a lot of this is about Megan that just came out over the weekend. Megan said, I'll see you at put something out on there and something about whatever, but I'll see you at HHN this year. I can't wait to go to HHN. Rumor is this is supposed to start in the fall. I think Megan is going to be one of the launching houses for it. Involved. They have a partnership with Blumhouse. They love synergy. I think Megan's involved in this. Because it would make sense. Horror's a Blumhouse. You would think both coasts. Could be a triple.
So, I am speculating without any knowledge. Didn't even read the press release here. So, I'm thinking 4 houses.
Well,
you have the main event, the Ringmaster.
Right.
Jack's house.
Jack Presents. I think it's going to be a Jack Presents, meaning you can do original and IP.
Well, listen to how the idea goes, though. You have that. It is the main house. You have to go through it. Like, that's the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're through there, you have the sideshow, the traveling act, which is and then 2 traveling acts that are the seasonal ones that are turning off and on at different times.
See, he gets it. Carnival of Carnage, baby.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
What?
Because you say Carnival of Carnage, and then the Great Malenko's gonna be there, the amazing Jekyll brothers, and we're just gonna have...
That's what it is. It was the Carnival of Carnage. Carnage Return. That's what it is.
You do realize I have literally just named ICP albums.
I am aware of what you did.
Okay.
I know what you listen. The Juggalos out there are howling right now.
Well, hey, you know what? They tie into everything anyway, so might as well have the Juggalos in on this.
They really do. But no, I know. I believe me. I see what you did.
I just wanted to make sure because they're ICP albums.
I know.
But no, I definitely.
I went through an ICP phase like everybody else.
Oh.
So, do you guys know the square footage of this Halloween Horror Nights out in Vegas?
Square footage? No, I know it was 20 acre. I think they said.
Yeah, it's so I just found the article. It's at, according to Universal, it'll be
Area
at
15.
15, yeah, occupying 110,000 square foot space. I'm not one to know land, but that sounds like that's a massive space for Universal.
It's adding on to Area 15, so there is room there. Remember, where they are, they have room there.
So I haven't been to Vegas in a while. What is Area 15?
I have not gone through it myself. Area 15, it's one of those kitschy kind of, I hate to call it a tourist trap, but
it's Vegas. The entire place is a tourist trap.
True.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like an. I've never gone through it myself. I've seen pictures from it. It's like it's an area. It's supposed to be like an alien kind of attraction, like area 51. It's Area 15.
Oh, okay. I just went on their website right now. So it looks like it is somewhat of a quote unquote tourist trap.
Joe's is right. Like a lot of Vegas.
It's basically like I don't want to say like a shopping center, but it's like a massive like indoor interactive entertainment complex.
Exactly. And its theme is exactly. That's why this is the perfect addition. It's perfect addition there. I know they had been working on a year-round haunt, but no one knew where. Just like, I don't know. And now it's like a park for Texas. Who saw that coming?
Okay, so this is pretty much like it. All right, I'm just looking at the stuff that's in Area 15. There's like axe throwing, arcade emporium, looks like golf, a distillery. It's like down
Vegas.
Yeah, it's like Disney. It's not Disney Springs, but it's like
Church Street Station.
Yeah.
It's typical Vegas venue. It's all about selling things and making money.
Yep.
And
VR experience, virtual. Yeah. Cool. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Not to mention, speaking of Universal, on top of all that, sounds like Universal's building another theme park in Texas.
They're family-oriented. This is a family-oriented theme park in Frisco, Texas, which is just outside of Dallas.
And from the concept art, I don't know if you guys saw or not, but it looks like the marquee at the entrance eerily resembles DreamWorks. So
I think the one area to the right looks like it's Trolls.
Okay, so I'm wondering if this could actually just be like a DreamWorks land, like Dutch Wonderland for families.
They said it will include a couple of themed lands. I don't know if it's all going to be DreamWorks. I would think I see 2 areas that look like How to Train Your Dragon and Trolls. I think they're going to have other things, but it's good again because their thing is the movies. I think it's going to be all themed around the movies.
It has to be, and if it's family friendly, I bet it's got to be like the family friendly films, like the animated
Illumination.
The big thing that I hope they're considering and they're preparing for is they can't rely on the gimmicks. This needs to be something for the locals.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I think they are. Knowing that they said family-oriented, that's what makes me think this is going to be a lot more of... We're not looking for a tourist destination. I'm looking for you come here for a long weekend in Texas.
That's what I'm saying.
What I'm thinking. Yes?
I have a theory.
Go on.
This is a test. It is a test for the acquisition of Six Flags.
That's exactly what I was thinking too, because here's why. They're also in talks about, and I texted you guys this earlier, they're in talks right now to buy Euphoria Park in Spain.
Which is a nice acquisition. That's a big acquisition for them.
Exactly.
Euphoria's got a very nice setup.
So the idea that, just hearing the Universal news, like trifecta with Vegas, Texas, and possibly Spain, they are literally doubling down on the theme park, like, budget.
It cannot be understated how much money the parks division truly makes. And honestly, this makes sense coming, knowing who is up of the heads, knowing where ILO sits.
Yeah.
This is an ILO idea. And buying Six Flags, this is pure ILO genius right here.
The catch, or maybe not catch, because you're at a you do this. You're at a crossroads, and you still have the flagship parks that are going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to limit capital expenditures at said parks.
Sure.
And they're doing great right now. Their flagships are better than Disney's flagships at the moment. But Universal's always, they relied on the capital expenditures.
Yeah.
And you limit those, do you lose a foothold in where you are great at the moment? Do you overextend?
Yes and no, because I don't think you're going to have the same, not just the same quality, because they're going with more a family thing, but I also think you're going to have, this is where they're more, you can experiment more here, and this is where you're going to have more of this is going to be more of they're calling it a theme park, it's more of an amusement theme park. It's going to be a little more to the amusement end.
I fully get that. But say you still have to build 2 to 3 new attractions if you buy all the Six Flags.
Right.
You're going to have to build a new e-ticket in one of them you're going to have to build a large attraction at them every 4 years.
See, that's the thing. You guys said Six Flags. I didn't think they were going to buy Six Flags together. I thought this is coming for a while now. Cedar Fair can't take on the whole chain.
Right.
I think you're going to have the big flagships. You're going to split everything. I think you're going to have a split selling to Cedar Fair and another company. I thought SeaWorld, for a while, I thought InBev was going to be the other purchaser because it made sense of location-wise and they have an idea what they're doing there. I'm wondering if that's all you said that. I'm like, I wasn't thinking that, but you're right. I didn't think Universal was going to touch that. I thought it was going to be SeaWorld was going to be the other buyer. That certainly could be. I think they're going to cherry pick the parks because I know. So besides the rumors, I know for a fact Cedar Fair and Six Flags have had some intimate talks.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, because just looking at it as this family theme park that's opening up in Texas, that's now let's say if Universal doesn't go after the Six Flags parks and they just do their own thing. Now you have a lot of competition in that area because you have SeaWorld, you have Six Flags down there already. Now you're going to have Universal.
Yes and no. Remember, Texas is big. This is nowhere near the other two.
Oh, wait. This is near Dallas, though, right? This is
near Dallas. That's why I originally thought it was
Houston. Yeah, because Dallas is still about a half an hour from San Antonio.
There's been a lot of rumors about that park for many years.
Because what I was thinking, if Universal's going after Six Flags, is if they start doing this beta test with Texas and it is a success, and we start maybe seeing some pop-up Universal parks in the country that are in close proximity to Six Flags. Now this is years down the road, But let's say they do end up buying Six Flags, it wouldn't hurt them saying, "Hey, we're just going to just close these parks altogether."
Not all of them, but they
right,
have
but some of them.
They have an image issue in a lot of parks, and I'm pretty sure quietly that's over Texas and San Antonio, right? Or was that Fiesta? Yeah, over Texas.
Texas, yeah.
I think over Fiesta's the better of the two, from my understand. Magic Mountain over Texas, and obviously the lawsuit now Discovery Kingdom. They have a lot of issues going on here.
Right.
Six Flags has got problems, and my understanding is they were looking for solutions.
Well, I think they may have found it.
It's very intriguing what's going on, and the reason also, folks, that I started with Horror Nights at Universal here because we got some Disney talking to do.
Yeah, we do.
I want to get this out of the way because we got some Disney discussing going on.
We do, but first I just have one question: who buys Great Adventure?
Fair.
Really?
Yes.
With Doherty so close?
Yes.
Really? You would think?
I
would think they'd want it too. You're taking what many consider the flagship, though, bounces between that and Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They have wanted to turn. It has been Universal could be a buyer because Six Flags Great Adventure years ago wanted to build 2 hotels. They wanted to expand that park greatly. They really wanted this to become a Disney light. So Universal wouldn't surprise me, but think of this. I think Cedar Fair specifically, Universal I think is going to get some of the lesser ones. I think Cedar Fair specifically wants Magic Mountain and Great Adventure. I think they want. Think about it. Cedar Fair owns.
They want
Cedar. Vanity Fair, Cedar Point, Six Flags Great Adventure, and Magic Mountain, and the Paramounts. Forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it. I mean, just
for Cedar.
Boom.
For Cedar Fair to, I will say this much: like if Cedar Fair really wants those 2 Six Flags specifically, like they'll be in good shape. Then they wouldn't be like they would still own.
They're the only. That's why they can't absorb them all. The only company I can think of that besides a Universal or Disney or SeaWorld that can handle those parks individually.
I'm
Magic
sure
Mountain is the biggest question because Magic Mountain basically it's a issue of image because they have a lot of issues at that park.
Well, and I could see Cedar Fair because Magic Mountain's out in California, right?
Yeah, where they have issues, and Cedar Fair already has issues with knots. But also think about that. Cedar Fair would then own Knott's. They would own the former Paramount out there and Magic Mountain. They would own most. Basically, if you're paying money to a theme park, it's going to be to one of those 2.
See, I was just thinking if Universal got Great Adventure, that would pretty much like stick it to Disney because they would basically be like spreading throughout the country where Disney would be literally landlocked between California and Florida.
Because Disney can't. Disney's too big. They
well, no, that's right.
Building another park down there that's going to be that it wouldn't make sense to me.
Disney doesn't want Disney light.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just saying though that like, Universal has Epic Universe opening up. Now Universal's announcing, oh, hey, we're doing this and we're doing this out in Vegas. This is coming to Texas. We're possibly looking at Spain. Just hearing all these announcements Universal's dropping, it's like, man, they're not just sticking to Florida and their Hollywood, California now. They're really branching out.
Universal, I think, would struggle with Great Adventure. That's why I said Cedar Fair.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot going on here in New Jersey that they don't want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
The incident in El Toro this year, I have heard. And New Jersey's a very strict state on theme park regulation, believe it or not. We're up there, along with Ohio. Think about that. Food for thought. Think. But El Toro has had a lot of issues with maintenance and everything. Maintenance has always been an issue. That's why more than Universal, that's why I think Cedar Fair is the buyer. Specifically, I think they'd be willing to sit down with Universal and go, oh, there's a lot we don't care about. Here's the 4 or 5 we want.
Right.
Georgia over Texas, Great Adventure, Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Cedar Fair will be in great position to make King Dakar safe again.
Because that's another rumor. Originally, it was Zamperla was now in, just doing whatever. If you look at what's going on at Cedar Fair, there's enough room to add that back spike to Top Thrill Dragster. There's enough room there to add that spike. So I think it's all comes into play here. You're right. Because Dragster, King Dakar is a flagship. You need a company that knows, and not just, they have contracts and they know Intamin and everything, but Cedar Fair really knows these coaster companies. And that's what you have mostly here. It's all about the coasters and what these parks are about.
So, we're now at a crossroads. We have Zamperla that they're redoing Dragster. It's going to be awesome. We don't need to talk about it. It's going to turn into an LSM launch. They're going to chop the station in half. They've already done that.
Wow.
Everything but the main tower is gone.
You're going to lose a train. We're going down to 4 12-seater trains. You're going to take a huge reduction in capacity.
And moving the line out from the middle.
Yes, but the ride will be safe again. It'll be cooler, and it'll be rethemed. Because you're no longer going to have that gut punch of the dragster.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because you're still going to hit that same top speed, but you're not getting that punch. LSMs will not give that to you.
No.
But it'll be awesome. Okay, but we have we have a couple big stories here. We got a shit ton of Disney news.
Yeah.
And then
you want to talk about WWE first? You want to tease them about all?
Well, it's Disney news.
That's true.
Today, Nick Khan, CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment, met with one Robert Iger.
Yeah. You know what that means.
So, two days ago, there were the rumors that the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund was buying WWE. They have since been quashed for the moment, though I still think they're an interested buyer.
100% into.
I think it's a terrible idea because WWE is content. They put out 7 hours of original content 52 weeks a year.
Careful. Keep going there. And Scott Hansen and Red Zone are going to sue the hell out of us. You had commercial free. We're done. Continue.
They're sports. This is sports entertainment.
No, but the whole 7 hours of commercial-free football. No. Specifically, that's his tagline of "Welcome to 7 hours of commercial-free football." Continue.
But you have that. Saudi Arabia buys it. No American broadcaster is going to want to carry this. They're not going to touch it, which means it's worth nothing. Without media rights deals, WWE is worth nothing. So, I rule out Saudi Arabia. The holdings company, Endeavor Holdings, that owns UFC, is also in the pot. I don't think they'll buy it. I think it comes down to two big players. NBC Universal, which already carries 5 of those 7 hours and has the entire library on Peacock at the moment. And you have Disney ESPN, which they got the bankroll.
Disney ESPN is just a sound business. Listen, they're both sound, don't get me wrong, but Disney is just a sound minute decision, if you will.
I'll say this. If Bob Iger ends up buying WWE, that honestly might be because I don't have ESPN. I just have the Disney Plus service.
I thought they shoved you into the bundle.
No, they're charging me to force me into the bundle. I never got the bundle. I'm paying for a non-bundle fee. I should just get the bundle already.
Get the bundle. Get the Hulu ad free. It's amazing.
my Hulu is free because I have Spotify Premium. I pay $10 a month for Spotify. I get Hulu for free. Which I ended up getting when I was at Kutztown. It was a college deal that I never canceled. So anyway, I just have this feeling that like if Disney buys it, like ESPN would just they would have the WWE out on there.
They would be able to absorb it into their apps, no problem, or even again run their own. It would be no issue. And they have the ability to do so much with this. And really, and not just that, remember, WWE, this includes WWE Studios. Mm-hmm. There's a lot here that they can work with. There's a lot that could work with this.
I would also like to point out, WWE has 2 physical locations. Stamford, Connecticut, and Orlando, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Where's it in Orlando?
You would never find it. It's a nondescript training center for wrestlers. But correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't Disney have a building we keep speculating what the hell to do with?
They certainly do.
Wait, are you talking about the Wonders of Light Pavilion?
No. I don't. Not the pavilion. I'm talking about our theater that we want to build in the old Disney Quest spot.
Oh yeah. However, I do think Wonders of Life would be a great setting for WWE and Epcot.
It would, but not for what I want to build. Because there's one very specific thing WWE has been talking about building for years. In fact, they have an entire A&E show about it.
Does it follow with H, O, and F possibly as letters?
Yes. It's the Hoff exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
Or more likely, the Hall of Fame.
They have been threatening this. Not talking, threatening this for years. Now, I will be honest. I'm also a little biased here. I'm a little biased. Again, go back to Horror Nights for a second. We don't need this at Universal. We don't need you to try this again. You tried. It failed. We don't need you involved. Let Disney handle this.
Look, honestly, though, I mean, this may seem like you guys are into wrestling more than I am. But is there, obviously there is a huge, following fan service for wrestling, but I guess I'm just thinking is there a place at the House of the Mouse for WWE?
Absolutely. Not just anything else.
I don't think there's a Parks identity for it.
No. I know not Parks, but like what you were saying about Disney. Disney Springs, that location, Disney Quest, would essentially be like prime real estate for WWE because the NBA experience was already there. So you could easily just go from one sport to a different sport.
And I would like to remind you that if you go back in time and watch some early WCW Nitros, they're filmed at MGM.
Really? Huh.
And that's why Universal obviously had a contract with TNA Impact, what do you want to call them, for years to film.
And they now have one with AEW to film.
They have one with AEW using the soundstage, couple of the sound, or I thought it was Soundstage 23 that they used, I think. Can't remember off the top of my head. Either way, but there is room for this here and not just that, Brian, you're avoiding the one thing that both companies want the piece of. Forget everything else. I'm just going to go back. I'm going to bring Mel Brooks into this conversation here. Merchandising.
Well, and there's one pro wrestler in particular that comes to mind that is pretty much like Disney's golden boy right now. And that's Dwayne Johnson.
What does Stone Cold have to do with this conversation?
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin. No, yeah, Dwayne.
Here's the thing, though. If Dwayne Johnson wanted anything to do with this, he would fucking buy it.
Yeah.
He bought the goddamn XFL.
True. No, I was just thinking though, because not saying the Rock would buy it, but because The Rock is doing a lot of
But The Rock
Disney.
The Rock does his own thing. He does work with Disney, but The Rock works a lot of companies because that I don't think has anything to do with the decision of the buying. Listen, The Rock is big, but this is bigger than just that.
Oh.
There's a lot that's going into this, and The Rock could help sway one way or the other.
Sure.
I just truly think Disney is the best sound decision. I think it makes the most sense because you already have it just makes sense. It's a good business. Either way, they're going to be in good hands, but it's a sound business decision.
I do also need to point out the three other suitors that have been named are Netflix, Amazon, who I think they're both terrible fits. They won't buy it.
No.
Those are buyers in name only. They just want their hat in the ring.
Yeah, and the other one is Saeed Khan, owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I know.
Owner of All Elite Wrestling.
I'm aware.
Also, rich enough to do it.
Rich enough to do it, but remember, he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars.
He owns All Elite Wrestling. That's enough for me to say
I'm
no.
aware. I know, but I'm just saying, he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sometimes some of his decisions are suspect. Hiring Doug Peterson's not one of them, but that's a whole nother discussion.
No hate for Peterson coming from here.
I mean, I just have. I'm just brainstorming in my mind, just thinking like if Disney bought WWE, all I can think is like they can have Disney Princess Night where the wrestlers dress up in the female wrestlers dress up as Disney princesses.
More than it's less about that. There's a lot of opportunity for synergy, which I know NBC Universal loves. It's just there's a lot of both companies are fine, but Disney offers so much opportunity. More, you can have a lot more of these. I thought there was one. I didn't realize there's been many Scooby-Doo things with WWE involved. You have a lot of things here. I know that's a Universal thing.
Yeah.
Still, there's a lot of that's why I mentioned WWE Studios. A lot of these people break into act. There's a lot of opportunity here because Disney likes this whole to have shows on Disney Plus, shows on something else.
For content, for media,
there's a lot of opportunity here, but that's why I think Disney's the one.
Well, and with Bob Iger back at the helm, the guy comes from media. I mean, he came from ABC, so he knows how to market and
it's Bob.
Content.
Remember, I've called him Bob Iger. Bob I is here he's back for a specific purpose. And if he's buying WWE, it's because he knows he has somebody in mind to handle that.
The Rock. I'm just kidding.
Don't me stags you. Who said that? We can't say that language here.
Look,
Tom.
There's a lot of things. And while I don't think WWE should have really a place in the parks, I do have to say, I would absolutely ride the Tower of the Tombstone.
I'm just also going to throw this. I love that idea. I'm also going to actually circle back to something Brian said. On an educational standpoint, it's not a... Don't replace... I know the pigs of pigs thing. It's not a bad idea this day and age with concussion. And does it have a wonders of the body, a wonder of movement, using the old Wonders of Life Pavilion to do something with fitness and health in wrestling. It's not impossible. Not saying it's going to happen, but if they're going to be involved, actually, I think Epcot's the place for that. For there, you could have. I love the Tombstone idea, though. Love the Tower of the Tombstone. I'm with you on that one. Because this is so big, also international. Mm-hmm. I just feel it makes so much sense for them.
Yeah. And then what you were saying earlier, just about I forgot about WWE Studios, about like films and all that, like that alone. Like, yeah,
it's well worth it to own 27 versions of the Marine.
Yeah. Hey, not to think about it. You have guys who go off, they make it big there. You have The Rock, Cena in his own right is a nice star.
Batista.
Well, and
Batista,
I was just
well,
gonna say, because with Dave Bautista leaving Guardians of the
no,
Galaxy,
Dave. I'm not counting Dave Bautista here because we can't count him. That's not serious enough for him. This isn't real enough. That's not real acting. I want drama. I want to be considered a serious actor.
well, yes, but it's a way to keep some people from leaving to go to other networks and still stay under the Disney.
I know it is. I'm
Disney
just saying.
family.
I'm simply saying we're gonna bring up his name. I'm sorry, Dave. No one here is gonna take you as a serious actor ever.
Did you watch him in Knives? Did you see Knives Out? That is not
I haven't watched Knives Out yet. I haven't watched it. I'm going to. I love what they're doing there. To me, it's the second tier because of the Perot movies are number one.
Or Glass Onion. That was the second film. Knives Out was the first one. Glass Onion was the second one. Glass Onion was fantastic to the point where I thought of it, and then somebody must have just like started this petition online to the point where Rian Johnson now. More Disney news ish. So there was, because Glass Onion was a success on Netflix, there's a petition floating around out there saying that Daniel Craig's character from Glass Onion and Knives Out, like that role of being a detective, needs to be in a mashup movie with the Muppets, directed by Rian Johnson. Like the third like Knives Out film needs to be a Muppet movie with Daniel Craig.
Yeah, nope.
I'm
big
on
issue with that. That's not how. It's not possible. What Muppet are you killing off?
It doesn't have to be a Muppet killing off. It could just be like a random. It's not a Muppet being killed off. It could just be like,
even still, the Muppets in murder. It's not that's not possible. Remember, that's not possible. We're talking about the Jim Henson Company. That's off the table completely.
No. It could be another human being killed.
Doesn't matter. It's still being killed off you're going to have Muppets as murder suspects. The Henson Company is never going to go for that.
Did you see Happy Time Murders?
That's not the Henson Company. They made the puppets. That's not the Muppets. That's different. The Muppets are the Henson baby. Jim would never go for it. Dozer, go.
You know, they could just steal something, or
it'd be great Muppet caper.
But these all revolve. The other two movies revolve around murder. You'd lose your audience immediately. I love the Happy Time Murders. But I love it. The Happy Time Murders bombed. I went because I was.
I loved them. I love
that movie so much.
Movie was so
I wish
funny.
they made a sequel, but that's what I'm saying. The Henson Company would never go for that. That's a non-starter.
What if they do a Great Muppet Caper? What about a Great Muppet Caper 2? with special appearance by Daniel Craig. Like it's not.
It could, but I'm saying simply put. Because the competitor to these movies are the Perot movies.
Yeah.
Murder of the Orient Express, Queen of the Night. Thank you. But that's what I'm saying. It's a non-starter only because the company that would help. That's a non-starter. I don't see it happening.
Look, until I get the Muppets do Les Mis, I don't care about any other Muppet mashups.
Honestly, Muppets do Les Mis is a great idea. I always thought it'd be funny to do a sequel to Muppet Treasure Island, but just call it Muppets of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. I mean, like, anything wrong with that idea?
What?
Muppets of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp.
That would be fine. That's fine. There's certain ideas that are fine. Simply put, the Henson Company, not any kind of mystery like that, I think is going to be too mature for them. I think that's a non-starter.
Rock and Roller Coaster featuring the Electric Mayhem.
That's fine. I think they'd go for that. I'm simply saying anything with the Knives Out character, it could be a mystery of stealing something. That's fine, but I don't think the Henson Company is going to go for it.
I already have I already gave my answer to the Rock and Roller Coaster. It's a goofy movie.
Yeah. Power line.
But let's see. We need something.
We'll circle back to that, folks. Don't worry. We're not done with that.
We got Muppets. Because I completely lost my train of thought of what I had a great idea for. Oh. And I lost it again. It's a Muppet movie. Oh, Muppet Spaceballs.
I think they go for that. I'm fine with that.
I am just imagining Miss Piggy as Dark Helmet.
Yeah. Or Pepe.
It would be Pepe.
Because it being a small prawn.
Giant helmet that we all wonder how is it on the prawn. I'm sorry, the king prawn.
There is no other body. It is literally just a helmet. Moving across the ground.
And when people say, "What's in that helmet?" Who's the shrimp in the helmet? I'm not a shrimp. It would work. I would love that. And again, I'm Brian. I'm not trying to rain on your parade there. I love the idea. Remember who we're dealing with, though. The Henson Company would never go.
Oh, I know. But Ryan Johnson just came out with a Twitter like today or yesterday saying about how he's like, hey, I heard everyone's requests about this, and I'm making a few phone calls right now. So
well, remember, he also said the next one should be a musical.
And what are Muppet movies? They're usually musicals.
Still, I thinking more a regular ass musical, not a Muppet musical.
I know.
Also,
unless this is how we finally get Muppets on Broadway, in which case I'm in.
Why would the Muppets be on anything on Netflix?
Oh, this wouldn't be on Netflix. This would be over on Disney Plus.
No. I know what he means. It was because Knives Out was not Glass Onion, which the director Johnson himself is not happy. It's called a Knives Out film.
Yeah,
he wants them to stand alone again, like the Perot films. But that's Agatha Christie. I digress. We'll see how they go going forward.
But
sorry,
it's okay. No worries. There's a lot of good things that could be happening, though.
Like what? Free parking?
Iger fixing his one big fuck up.
Yeah.
Can we call it Iger's folly?
Yes. Sure.
Iger fixing Iger's folly.
I think the headline was, in one day, Iger has done JPEG's entire legacy.
Because he did.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, actually, now that you say that? Because I also, those were discussing before we started. I was like, I thought that stopped. I forgot it stopped a long time ago because I don't drive, so it doesn't affect me as much. But it is, not only did he undo it, but if you think about it, that decision Iger made laid the groundwork for JPEG to do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
Because he could say, well, Iger did that, so I'll just follow along. I'm good.
So, did you all catch the big value add to Genie Plus?
What, the photos on the
attraction photos?
Yeah. I was happy about that too. I was
genius.
And guess what? It cost them nothing.
I know.
It's beautiful.
It's genius, even though I'm a little still mad because they would not do my photo from Splash Mountain this time.
What'd you do?
I did a whole goodbye to Splash Mountain bit in the photo, and they did not like it. Something about pretending to be dead, not looking very fun. Family friendly.
Do you know who these two ladies are?
But yeah, free parking's back. God,
he's made a lot of decisions. Hey, stopping the price hike, and I know it's a minor win. It's a win nonetheless. But having at least 2 months of $104, rather, math 2 out of 12 ain't bad.
Looking at it this way, it's like any little bit helps. Any little bit helps for the company where they're just like, look, we know that our people are just not coming down. Like, hotels are vacant. Not to mention, you guys hear about the Galaxy Star Cruiser? I mean, it's pretty much what everyone expected it to be. It was a one-hit wonder. It was like, as soon as it came out, it was hot, and now it's cold.
No!
To the point where it's...
People don't want to pay that kind of money?
No.
I don't want to go to summer camp.
I am surprised.
And it's not even people not paying money to the point where they're laying off cast members. Like, the shows that they're doing are now cut down to like two shows a week versus like their initial 4 shows a week or something like that. Like it's just
we
been.
knew this was going to happen. It's not that was the issue. It's not a sustainable idea. If you were going to price it as luxury, you're going to run out fast.
So what they're looking at possibly doing right now, that's just blue sky talk right now for the Galaxy's Edge, or not Galaxy's Edge, the Galactic Star Cruiser. Possibly just doing a dinner show is the talks right now. Like they're not even looking at it as overnight stay. They're looking at it as, or like if you do stay there, they may talk about extending it to possibly 3-4 nights versus 2. There's talks about just cutting it like down in half to just be like a dinner show experience.
Bruce,
yeah.
Can't we just in honor of the man who's now gone, in Bob Chapek fashion, I'm going to use a quote. I'm going to use a line he once said about Rivers of Light before it even opened. How much to write it off?
Yeah.
Just we surrender. Or here from Up at 3D, we surrender. Just give up on it. I get it. I know you don't want to. It's making it a dinner show. Now I can understand that going for Batu, you can make trips. You could have you can do something with this. But if you're laying off cast members and you're moving them around, and it's not just abandon ship.
Yeah.
Hey,
literally.
Did you guys hear about this new cast member apartment block they built right next to Hollywood Studios?
Mm-hmm.
Use it for training. Because that's the thing here. Disney could use that for training. You can use that for all sorts of on-site stuff. There's a lot you can do with that build. It doesn't have to be, but if it's not making money, and that could be what they're doing while they're trying to figure it out. Hey, we're just trying to figure it out. But there's nothing wrong in saying we're stopping it. We surrender. It was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Here's the answer.
Phineas and Ferb.
Well, that's normally my answer. No.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
You just make it the Star Wars Hotel. You get rid of most of the shows.
Actually, just get rid of all the shows. Just make it a Star Wars themed hotel.
You keep the bar. Done. Maybe build a restaurant.
Yeah.
Done. You can charge a high price for it because it'll still be few number of rooms.
It could be a deluxe resort.
You said something. Whoop!
What did I say?
Woohoo! You said something. You sparked the idea.
Well,
welcome to the Star Wars Escape Room. Welcome to the Star Wars Escape Room. You're welcome.
You have found your way here. Now find your way out.
Welcome to the Star Wars Escape Room experience. You are welcome. It's easy. It's better. And best of all, folks, CHEAP. It gonna be cheap to get it done. Cheaper than other things. You said that it's great movie. Escape seems to be working, and whatever.
It would be.
It's an easy. There's an easy again, and this doesn't have to be a long-term solution, but it's an easy band-aid money-making idea. Just have entertainment involved. You can save jobs. It will make you look good.
And what do you know? You have another large e-ticket style event attraction in Galaxy's Edge.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's upcharge, it's minimal. People would pay to do it. To a Galaxy's Edge, your trip out of Batu, take the shuttle, do your escape room, come back. Come do our tour. The tours is set up the framing device for the escape room. Oh no, you're here. Gotta help find your way out. You do it. Yeah, people get back on. You can sell photos, photos, merchandise. It just will work. It'll be it doesn't have to be permanent. It's a bit of a Band-Aid, but it's a Band-Aid to help you make your money back without completely losing everything.
Absolutely. Speaking of the Great Escape Room, so yeah, that apparently is actually doing pretty good right now down at Universal. Jurassic World apparently has been kind of underperforming. Back to the Future is definitely
because the word of the mouth says just wait for Back to the Future. Because for the price, Back to the Future is the one to do.
Well, there's been talk about the third escape room there, and Bruce, I hate to say it, it's not what you think it is.
Oh man, what stupid thing are they doing then?
Who are you gonna call?
Withdrawn. Love this idea. I'm happy to be a part of it. You see what I did there? Hell yeah. Oh my gosh. How can I be so upset with that answer? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, wait.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not Jaws. Apparently the runner-up is Ghostbusters for the third escape room.
I love how that's somehow a runner-up.
I shouldn't say they're not escape rooms. They're escape adventures. I have to be clear about this.
I love the fact that Ghostbusters is the runner-up idea.
Yeah.
Because that would be my number one. Sign me up. Give me a proton pack and just get out of my way.
Yeah.
I came, I saw, I can't. And so t-shirts. I came, I saw, I kicked its ass.
Yeah.
Great escape.
What no one's telling you though is it's the female Ghostbusters.
No, actually, from what I've been hearing,
you know what? I don't care. I'm still doing it.
It's actually an homage to the show.
The real Ghostbusters?
No,
the extreme Ghostbusters.
No, the show. No, the show from Universal, the old show back in the day.
The one with the gorilla?
Time out. Are you telling me I'm gonna get to see? So they're gonna use the JoJo, the clown head from Horror Nights in here? Sign me the fuck up.
Possibly.
Yeah, baby. Yes. Wait a minute, because I know they created the special effects. Are you telling me the Kyotos are involved? Shut up. There's no way.
I can't deny nor confirm that comment.
Ah!
That's what I've been hearing.
Ah! Yes, baby.
That's what I've been hearing. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's the word on the street. That's the word on the street.
I hope so.
And if you're watching the video feed, you have now seen Bruce's O face.
Yeah.
I hope so. Because I'll be in every little thing they're involved in. If they're doing this, part of me believes.
Because
could Universal be buying the rights and giving me my sequel finally?
Because what I've been hearing about The Great Escape is that they are really trying to bring old Universal back in a new way. That's why with like Back to the Future, the reason why it's such a success is that the first room, before even you start the escape adventure, you're going through the oh my god, what's the name of the institute from the Back to the Future ride?
We'll just call it the facility.
Yeah, you walk into pretty much the same setup from the institute, the Science Institute from Back to the Future ride. It has the same like props and design. And
how far ahead do you have to book these?
As of I checked online, you could book them whenever. I mean, like initially though, they do recommend like a 24-hour notice to make reservations. But honestly, you can just like they accept walk-ups too, like walk-ins, as long as they have times available that day. I think it's like $50 a head, $50 a person. To do
I know how much it is. I have to go down to Florida for a wedding next month. I'm not there for long, but I'd be there in time to make possibly jump in an Uber and make a pit stop
at City Walk.
I might.
Let me know, because it's also a bar too. You can get nice cocktails.
I know.
Bruce knows all the bars.
No. I may know all the bars.
The bars know Bruce.
But that's it. I gotta make my mark known. I don't want these bartenders being left. Oh, I hope Alex was there.
What was the bar that was there beforehand? What was the bar there before?
Was that Red Coconut was here? Groove. The Groove.
That's right. It was the Groove. But yeah, that's I've been hearing it's Ghostbusters. I've been hearing it's like from the rumors, if it is Ghostbusters, you walk in and it's the firehouse station, just like the pre-show.
From the Twister arena.
Yeah, like
Or the
that is
Twister
like
area.
what they want to do is they want to recreate that set like before you even go into the.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying. Like
my gosh.
they're trying to
Oh
do
my
old
gosh.
Universal again. Like
Mm.
why I'm so like happy with Universal.
So, I think Universal has figured out the more important thing. So,
You talk. I have to get a water.
they were doing their worst when they were trying to be on trend. What's big now? Because they always end up a few years behind.
Nostalgia doesn't go away.
Well, to hit the nostalgia circle just right, that 20-year.
The chef kiss of.
They have money now.
Remember, Universal doesn't necessarily like to get rid of props. They like to reuse them too. And I've seen props appear from all sorts of in the All Hallows Eve shop at All Hallows Eve boutique at Islands of Adventure. They have current Horror Nights props from this year. Some of the Sweet Revenge stuff appeared in there recently. They love to reuse. I think it's a genius idea. I really, really love it.
What was the idea?
Just the nostalgia of the perfect nostalgia being classic now.
Yeah.
They're doing better now that they're focusing on nostalgia instead of trying to chase the current trends.
Right.
Because when you're chasing the trends, you always fail.
Right. Why I always wish that Disney went back to nostalgia. Like, you know, I always thought, I mean, crazy idea for a fifth gate, but I always thought it'd be really cool if Disney's fifth gate was called like Yesterland, even though that name's already been taken. But like the idea that it's
Defunct Land.
Right.
It's Defunct Land. That's the
it's the land of time forgotten. Like pretty much all your classic attractions like Horizon. I mean,
I got the name for you. It's the Timeless River. I'm taking it right from the. They allowed Square Enix to do this. I'm taking it right from Kingdom Hearts. Timeless River.
See, here's my thing. I don't want it to be a gate. I don't want it to be a land. I want it to be one attraction. That is just always changing. I kind of like stealing the Kingdom Keeper's thought process here. And you just kind of start out in an old Disney prop warehouse and the props come to life.
Oh, I love that idea.
It's the Disney Warehouse 13.
Ooh.
And you find out they retired these attractions because they became too magical.
I like that.
They have the power. The people love them so much. The attractions got too magical. They had to be retired. They gained their own way of doing things. I'm sorry. Did we just write Five Nights at Freddy's?
Kingdom Keepers.
I know. I'm kidding. I love the idea. I love that idea. The reason I say Timeless River is just that was from Kingdom Timeless River. These are timeless things here. That could be a section at the fifth gate, for Christ's sake.
What was the on the old school Disney VHS collection? What was the black? Wasn't it called Black Diamond on those like
the classics?
Yes.
Yeah. Were they just?
Well, that had to do with the Disney Vault, I believe, at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all about the vault, of the opening and closing of the vault. Because the fictional Disney Vault has made them oodles of cash over the years. Because all the Disney Vault is an excuse to say, we're not selling this right. It's different nowadays than it used to be. It used to be you could only get them on VHS. Oh, we've brought it back out of the vault. It used to be a special deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now with especially because I'm sorry, release it from the vault already. Then if we're gonna do that, Song of the South, there's my pitch. We're 2 weeks away from Sadness. There, I had to say it. But the vault they worked well in their favor. Or maybe that's the name of the park. You just call it the Vault.
No, the Vault is the bar at the park.
Yes. Or I was thinking the Vault Experience, but I like your idea better.
That's good. I'm here for it. I'm here for everything for it. All of it sounds great to me.
So, I'm working on this in my head here. But let's take modern ride technology.
Mm-hmm.
Give me something Indiana Jones CTX-ish.
Mm-hmm.
With you.
Or we could even go a little newer. We could use runaway railway technology.
Okay, like Rise of the Resistance. Yeah.
And let's reimagine Mr. Toad.
I love this idea. I love this idea.
2 tracks.
Yes.
You can have 15 tracks. Every ride could be different.
I love this.
I love and hate this idea at the same time because I know ultimately this idea will lead to a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea attraction, which I don't want to go on. But yes, anything to revive my beloved Mr. Toad. When I first went down, me and my sister made us go on that mainly me so much. My parents couldn't stand Merrily into nowhere in particular. They couldn't stand that by the end of the trip.
You know what's crazy? So we haven't been out to California in since her stroke, 5, 6 years ago is the last time we went to California. When we went there, we'd been there. Well, we were in Disneyland a couple of times, but going there and seeing Mr. Toad still in all of its glory, I tear up every time I see it. It's the first ride I went on. We went out there. I'm like, we gotta hit up Mr. Toad's as the initial first ride. I love that ride.
Okay.
I actually had a tear in my eye when we passed it, and Tony's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, I just pointed. I'm like, "Can we?" He goes, "Of course." I'm like, "Can I forgot it was. I forgot it was there." I'm like, "Can we please?"
Okay.
Dozer.
So what happens here is you get in your Mr. Toad vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
and as you start going, you do part of Mr. Toad. Then all of a sudden, where the droid would be in this Rise of the Resistance ones,
Mm-hmm.
a different figure pops out. You're going to get either an Ahab. You're going to get the droid from Star Tours. You're going to get Mr. Toad for an enhanced Mr. Toad experience, and you get
a different ride.
This is when you use screens.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Already sounds better than Rise of the Resistance. There, I said it. Sorry, has to be said. Underwhelming attraction, but just has to be said. I love it already. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get till you're on.
Yeah.
Every ride starts out the same till you have your gangster scene.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have somebody take over your car.
Take over the experience.
Yeah.
I only have one requirement for this.
No octopus?
They're not going to like it. Well, besides that, that's a given requirement. Mr. Toad must end in hell.
Oh, yeah.
Must!
Yeah. I love it.
Or you're on your way to hell, and that's when you're intercepted.
That works too. I'm here for that.
You never get to hell.
Hell. I'm fine with that. Mentioning you're going is all I really need. Other thing
But
is instead as a nod to Disney, the world itself, instead of having Mr. Toad say tally ho or something, instead of saying poo pooped, he just says poo poo as a nod to Winnie the Pooh.
What if it's just a sequel to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? What if it's actually just Mr. Toad's Wild Adventure?
How do you have a sequel to a ride that ended in hell?
Well, no, I mean, hear me out. In the sense of instead of having multiple characters pop up, what if it's just Mr. Toad taking you on a wild adventure? into different
making
stories.
A complete Wind of the Willows attraction, having Mole and Ratty involved. But Brian, I actually have a name for you. Stealing a little bit from a nearby place, call it Mr. Toad's Epic World.
Well, or Wild Adventure or something.
No. You see where I'm going with that?
I know.
Epic Mouse. Epic Mickey.
Use the word epic.
Oh,
Epic
that video
Mickey.
game, Epic Mickey. Yeah.
Oh,
I forgot about
talk
that game.
about poor execution.
I know.
But it just, you see what it means? Just a slight little dig in there. It's gonna be at a new park. We're just gonna throw that in.
Not a bad idea.
This could be fun. Disney. There. It's free.
You're
Iger,
welcome.
Yeah.
Take it.
We don't
Build
need
it.
we don't
Josh.
need remuneration. Just at some point when you're announcing it, and admit you were bugging us and you got it from the three of us. You don't have to admit you were bugging us. Just admit you got it from the three of us. We don't care. We don't want money. We just want the satisfaction to know we helped.
I
Satisfaction.
don't even care about that.
We want rewritability.
Just give us
free.
Just have us there for the grand opening.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Wait.
You don't have to be on stage. Just let us ride it. Be it
I will
first
add.
car.
I want one more thing. I want ultimate backdoor access.
With knowing the special override code to not get 20,000 leagues under the sea.
I just want ultimate at backdoor access that we're allowed to go in wherever we want. That's all.
That's fair.
That's all.
I just want to point
attraction,
out,
though. I'm not asking for blanket statements here. I'm not asking for a golden ticket. I'm just asking for that one thing. That's all.
maybe a dinner at Club 33.
A sit down.
We start with that. We have two more things, so we have something to give up at negotiation.
Can we have the dinner with Iger and Josh tomorrow?
That's it. No, you're right. That's what we start with, so we have things to backtrack on.
Exactly.
We'll give up Iger and tomorrow very quick, so we still get our backdoor access and our dinner. I love this idea.
We start the dinner. We start the dinner with Iger and tomorrow, and then we have the parks to ourselves.
I have one other stipulation. I want Chapek in a dunking booth.
Who do you think's the devil in hell?
Chapek. Thank you. That is all.
Yeah, just having what's the devil? Well, everyone calls him Mr. C.
Mr. C.
All that happens is the car stops in the hell scene. You see the exit, and the Magic Band scanner comes up.
Yes!
You pay $9.99 to exit the ride.
You must buy something at our gift shop.
No, you get nothing for it. You just have to. You pay to leave.
Pay to leave the ride.
It is either you pay now.
Actually, hold on. Switch that up a little bit. No, leaving's free. You have to pay to remove the restraints.
No, all that happens is you then start the ride again, but now you are stuck on a continuous loop of It's a Small World.
Small World. Because you didn't pay to leave the ride.
No, not even that. You have to ride the attraction. But everything's a small world. You don't get to hear any of the audio. It all just happens in front of you.
It's a world of laughter.
Speaking of rides, they announced the opening of Tron officially.
April, what was it, 4th?
4th, yeah, April 4th.
Come on, pass holder previews March 3rd.
I'm sure there will be.
I have a very specific day I need these pass holder previews to be.
I would imagine previews. Personally, if they're not tech rehearsaling this by middle of February, they have failed.
I know, but I need to know I can ride it on my one day in the park.
I think you have a very good.
You should be all right.
That might be cast member previews. Then you'll be close. You'll be very very close.
Cast member previews, the one thing I can't get into.
It's one of those. I wish I knew somebody still in the park I could get you in. From
what I heard, it's all but ready.
Well, they've been building a roller coaster for 5 fucking years.
I love that, and I agree with you. But that's where Disney fails. But we're ready to run it. Back, you know what? This is the 3rd time we brought him in. I'm bringing Mel Brooks in. Guys, what did we forget? People. We forgot people. We need to test it with people. They forget you got to test getting in and off this attraction, and not just people who ride all the time. You have to test this properly, especially with the light cycle style. You're gonna have to help get somebody older. You gotta test this.
Oh, I mean, they've tested. Just it's the executives who have money that have been testing it, but
that's it. Executives aren't, Uncle Joe.
Yeah,
Uncle Joe has trouble making. That's it. What about Bruce? What about people like me?
Yeah.
You got to test for the fat people.
This is America. This ain't Shanghai. There's a lot more fat people.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's a carbon copy, but, I was not in a bad way. Again, the cast member was Chelsea. I thank her so much. She tried everything to get me on Flight of Passage. She was nice, respectful, polite. She really tried. I told her it's not happening. I can feel it. We're close, but with no cigar, honey, it's not happening. You gotta be ready for that, because this is not Flight of Passage. You gotta be in, on, load, go, on, load, go. I hope we get a blockchain video of this. Block zone video.
Oh, El Toro Ryan will definitely do that.
Block zone
channel.
I think that would be fantastic. I would like to know more about that as far as those rides.
Can I just state, Dragster has 9 fucking block zones.
You know what's sad? You know what's really sad? That I think the tower counts as 3. I'm pretty sure it's up as 1. The crest is 1, and down is the 3rd. I'm pretty sure the crest counts as a separate block zone, because even though you wouldn't, in theory, you can get stuck there.
Right.
That just like it blew. They're like, oh yeah, Space Mountain's. Well, Space Mountain is something like 27 block zones. It is absurd.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, for a second, please tell. I forget if I sent it to you guys. Please tell me you guys saw that stupid rumor going around
that it's going to be lights on all
it's
day.
Lights on because somebody stuck up their hands and hurt themselves. I'm sorry, and because of that, I'm like, yeah. Remember the announcement of keep your arms, legs, and hands inside the attraction at all times.
And not only that, too, how many times is that sign actually on that ride, even before you even get on the attraction?
Trust me, that's why they stopped hanging the lights. The lights were cutting people's fingers.
Like, as people are losing their mind about this accident, that is a terrible accident, has nobody read the Tales from the Mouse books by Jim Korkis? Like,
oh my god, that book is fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
How many horror stories come from Space Mountain alone?
I'm a tall individual. I wrote it once as a cast member with the lights on. That was the last time my hands have ever gone up, besides like here on the attraction. Because when I tell you, I could almost feel metal scrape my fingers at one point. You're going fast. Not that fast. It was one of those. It was one of these. Whoo!
It's like, ooh, I felt that.
I have alligator arms now. My arms ain't moving past here.
Oh yeah, the top speed of Space Mountain is slow.
25? Pretty sure.
25 or 27. 27 keeps popping in my head for that. Apparently a lot of rock stars die on it or something.
Oh, come on.
Oh my god.
Because who breaks his co-stars. Oh my lord. Oh, that was a good one, buddy.
That was good.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, come on.
Apparently, though, whoever sent that rumor out has no idea how fucking terrifying that ride is with the lights on.
Yeah.
It would be, no one would go on it. Kids would be like, Mommy!
Maybe they should do it for like a solid day, just to show people, do not put your hands up.
Honestly, just the opposite. They should just make it pitch black all the time. Kill all the lights that you're doing during Not So Scary. The attraction is infinitely better because you truly, and I know Space Mountain inside and out. Been on it, a billion times. I've been on it with the lights on. I know the layout of which side I'm going on. I'm going through. I'm like, The drop is supposed to be here. I'm in the front. I'm in the very front of this train going, well, I usually know when the drop's coming up, but I think it's now. I'm just gonna sit here like this because I have no idea where we're gonna go.
When I wrote it during Not So Scary, my friend Renee was like, Dozer was giggling like a kid in a can. I have never had that much fun.
It's so
on
fun.
Space
Brian,
Mountain.
You gotta hopefully get to
Wait.
try it at some point.
Not so scary when it's all pitch black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it.
Good. Okay.
Yeah,
That's the most fun it is.
We enter the tunnel, and I'm like, "What's it going to be?" It's me, my niece, and then my mother in this car, and then my sister behind us. And we hit it, and I'm just going, it's really dark. I can't see. Am I going to touch the top this time? Oh, I did. I can't see anything. My mom's going nuts too behind me. She's like, oh, I've never been in here like this. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
And my niece in the middle is like, what are the two? You can almost feel her being like, oh my God, my family's so embarrassing. And what's the big deal?
It is fun when it's all pitch black.
My mom is not a coaster person. My mom does not like Space Mountain. She was ready. She was ready to go back on it and again at heartbeat. She goes, that was the best time I've ever had on this ride.
The last time I was on Space Mountain though was rough. I don't know if it was just because they didn't do, like, it's been a while since they had maintenance. It hurt. It hurt getting off. I was like, oh,
Space
Left
Mountain
or
is
right? Left or right?
whichever one was the fast pass queue, because they had it set up where the fast passes were on one.
Right.
Yeah, that was the one that I was on.
Right is rougher than left.
Okay.
Right is rough. Right is rougher. And shocking, it's rougher because they use it less.
Yeah.
It doesn't get the same amount of wear and tear as left does. And you think it'd be the opposite, but no, left is kept in very good shape. No, it's better than the Matterhorn, but that,
I love the Matterhorn.
I was in a car accident was more gentle than the Matterhorn was. So
yeah, I mean the Matterhorn is a little rocky, but man, I tell you what though, Hyperspace Mountain is fucking awesome. Out in California.
Shut up. I'm bitter still.
That is now that roller coaster is much different than
I know it is.
Florida.
2 rides. There are 2 rides I absolutely wanted to do. Forget everything else. There's 2 rides I wanted to do at that park. 2.
Ghost Galaxy and Hyperspace Mountain.
Ghost Galaxy, Hyperspace Mountain, and the Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion was closed for Haunted Mansion holiday turnover, and Ghost Galaxy was opening up 3 days after I was gone from the state.
Yeah, I've never ridden the holiday overlay at Haunted Mansion. The past couple times I've been there, it was
I
either
just wanted to see the half box ghost. I don't care; it's not important. I just wanted to see the attraction, and it was closed for Haunted Mansion. I would love to do holiday, but Haunted Mansion holiday doesn't mean as much. I just want to do it out there. I was like, really, guys.
Yeah, I've missed the holiday overlay. The first time we were out there, we were too early. And then the second time we were out there, we were too late because it was they were opening up like 2 weeks later they were closed for the holiday overlay, and like 2 weeks later they were opening up. I was like, damn it.
I was days away. On my trip, I was days away from that and Horror Nights out there. It was just I missed it by a couple of because he was doing the marathon, but we missed it just by a couple of days.
Man, Hyperspace Mountain, God, that roller coaster.
I've heard it's great.
And I think the one reason besides the video projections they throw on the screens, which is cool. What did it for me was right when you're leaving the station, because the ride has the speakers built in the back of the seats, you start hearing the John Williams opening fanfare to Star Wars. Like as soon as it leaves the station, going up the hill. They play the fanfare and you're hearing audio saying like red leader standing by, blue leader standing by. Like you're in this
cool.
And there's this whole backstory that ties into episode 7, The Force Awakens. It's almost like a prequel to The Force Awakens. So the storyline is that you are sent to the space battle of Jakku. and you're over like so when you're flying through the stars, you see the planet Jakku, and there's like TIE fighters coming at you. They have like green strobe lights like as lasers that are like shooting at you. There's red that are so then there's like dog space fights flying all over the place. You're zooming all over the place, and then like you get back to the station, and then the fanfare ends. Like it's like you were living in this like Star Wars. It was a Star Wars roller coaster. I mean, that's like the best way I can describe it. It's a Star Wars roller coaster.
The best part is this sounds better than California. I only wrote it before it was Incredicoaster. I only wrote it was California Screaming, but it sounds better than California Screaming, which was California Screaming was one of the worst letdowns I've ever been on a roller coaster.
Yeah. To the point where, well, when the ride first opened up, it was supposed to be Rock and Roller Coaster out there, featuring No Doubt.
Well, I'm glad they didn't, because No Doubt deserves better.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Rock and Roller Coaster featuring No Doubt. They were trying to find a West Coast band out there.
It wouldn't matter because whoever they would have picked deserves better. That attraction is blech.
Yeah.
So I'm really sad I miss Hyperspace Mountain because that sounds awesome, even if it was Ghost Galaxy.
I think Hyperspace Mountain comes out every May. I think they do like a 1 or 2 monther out there for the summer for the Star Wars weekends out there or something like that for May the 4th through like June.
Just make it all the time.
That's what I'm saying, because you have Star Tours in Tomorrowland out there. Like that, if they want to do like when they announced Galaxy's Edge, and they said they were building Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland out in California, I'm like, okay, great, but you have Star Tours on the other side of the park.
It doesn't matter to them.
It doesn't. I know. Doesn't fit in Hollywood Studios either.
Well,
no, it doesn't.
I mean, it's closer.
You still have the Muppets between it.
Yeah.
And at least having the Muppets is better than having Dick Tracy.
Can I just point out, as we talk about Disney needing to test rides with people, they tested Star Tours 2 for like a solid month and a half, full opening running capacity for a ride system they knew fucking worked, and people knew how to ride it. Like,
it's also like Disney never seems to understand that, especially when they're building. They seem to get away with it. The old saying with you could test your attraction, you could test your new coaster for 3 months, but on your press day, it's gonna suck. Your ride's gonna go, hey, no. That happened with Hershey Park. Yeah, Stormrunner Hershey Park. Apparently, the rumor was going around. Some guy was literally going to the control panel like, "You have worked for 2 weeks. Why?" Because they just when press started, they pressed the button and nothing happened. Apparently, that's what some guy. They cleared the station. Some guy's just yelling at him like, "Why?" Because like, no one could figure it out. Like, why isn't it working? Like, it should be. Everything's right.
Look,
they're on the phone with Intamin, who's going, we don't know. If it's not working, it's operating.
Look, your ride could run perfectly, and then it doesn't run for an hour, and you have your celebrity guest stuck on the ride, and then it runs, and then he gets hit in the face with a bird.
I'm sorry. Did we just have an Apollo's Chariot reference in there?
Yes, we did.
Did I just hear that? Oh, by the way, the celebrity is Fabio. For folks that remember who Fabio is, a very infamous. And you could look it up. Google Fabio roller coaster. There's a picture of him that looks like he has this giant bloody nose because a bird hit him in the face. He has a couple of feathers in his hair.
And shockingly, that is the only bird strike I know of on a roller coaster.
Yes, it is. It is the only one anyone has known of. It's classic.
As Brian is coughing from my cigar.
No, it's the that RSV that my wife and I have.
Oh. Lovely.
Yeah, I had bronchitis last week, and
bronchitis is rough.
We've been having this cough for about a month now, so it's not COVID, but it's this nasty RSV. But Yeah, but I'm going. I think I'll be going down to Florida at the end of April.
So I will be in Florida March 28th through February 2nd, or flip that around.
I was gonna say, man, that's like a whole year.
Flip that around. Flip that
And a
around.
half.
February 27th to March 2nd.
Yes.
So I'll be down, I think, April 27th through the beginning of May. So I'll be down. I'll be down there May the 4th.
Nice. I'll be down there. Well, you know when I'll start my trip down there.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go to Disney for a couple days. Though we may change things. We may.
Disneyland?
No. You got the land part right though. We might do Legoland.
Ooh.
I hear that's the Legoland to do. I know people have done the one up here in Goshen, New York. They said it's fine, but I know people who friends of mine had season passes down there. They said it was the best. Their kids aged out of it, but Bonnie said she goes, my kids love it. It's the best.
I'm like Bella seems to be about the right age for Legoland, and seems worth a shot.
Yeah.
But then again, we do have season passes to Disney, so we may also just
see that's going to be my saving grace. If Bob Iger comes out and says I'm opening up annual pass holders to everybody again, then it's open season for me. I'm jumping on that. As soon as they announce it, I'm jumping on it.
We all know what I think. I would never buy a season pass or annual pass, whatever you want to call it. I personally think they should just reopen it up. I don't see what the big deal is.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I have more tales from bad Disney customer service.
Ooh!
Oh, no. Ooh. Oh, no. What now?
Ooh.
So,
Brian's excited. And I'm like, oh, this sounds like it's going to be painful.
Meg finally called to renew my annual pass. After you remember last time I was told, since I am not a deeded member, I can't renew my annual pass through DVC. So Meg called, and this person tried to, oh no, you've always needed to call us to renew. We have never called them to renew our DVC annual pass. But so they're already off to the wrong foot. And then this woman goes, oh, sorry, you're not him. You can't renew it.
Okay, so only she can do with her passes, but she can't renew yours because it's not you. But if you call only the title owner, who's her, can we see passes? But she can't do it because she's not you. I mean, is this a cycle we're actually going with?
So, Bruce, you may have heard it once, but my wife has 3 voices. She has her normal voice.
No, she went Jersey.
She has her Southern Belle voice, and then there is her full Jersey.
Oh, she went full Jersey?
Yes.
No Karen. No Karen, just straight Jersey. No Karen, just straight Jersey.
Oh, I feel so bad
Wow.
for the person on the other end of that phone.
Ooh.
I don't, because this woman, from everything I've heard of this story, was a dick.
Oh, she deserves it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it, but I feel bad for her because holy hell just rained upon her. She deserves every moment of it, but ooh, honey child, guess you wish you could make that happen.
And I don't know what it is that it has been real hit or miss with these DVC CSRs lately.
They started slacking because a lot of them their job is back and we're safe.
And
there's been no threat of losing it anymore.
Yeah. And it's just been getting bad. And what do you mean you can't renew my annual pass? I can't renew my annual pass.
So stupid. Who cares? They're paying you money. Look at where they live. For the most part, you're buying an annual pass out of state. You're going to make the money back. You're going to win.
And then she goes, well, technically you're past the day you could renew. You can only renew till January 1st. And I'm sitting there going, well, that is a bold fucking face lie. So my pass expired on December 8th. You have 30 days from its expiry to renew. January 1st is not 30 days from December 8th.
Yeah.
Sure it is. 2 + 2 equals fish.
But as she goes, I guess I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Disney. It must be your company. You'll allow it.
It's like, let me speak to your supervisor. Let me speak to
to
Bob.
your manager.
Let me get Bob Iger on the phone for me, please.
And then you go, well,
Hey.
Bob, I don't interact with Bob Iger. Oh, you're not that high up.
Hold on. You have the system there. You can pull everything up. Can you just pull up the folio from our last 2 Disney trips?
Wow.
Just pull it up. Look at that number at the bottom. Thank you. Now give us what we want.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we're asking for crazy shit, making absurd requests.
Yeah.
You're at literally, I'm trying to give you money. Just take the money.
And let me point out that I do not think we're going to get our money's worth out of our annual pass this year. We renewed it solely to keep it.
No, I know why you did. Do it or lose it. No, you got to do it.
But come on.
I'll tell you what, once Epic Universe opens up, I might actually look at getting an annual pass for Universal.
Read the fine print. That's all I'm going to say.
Why is that?
I had an issue with my Universal annual pass. I did not. I was young. I didn't see the clause in there. I doubt it's the same way, but back then it was you had to physically cancel your pass. If you don't actually cancel it, they're just going to renew it automatically. I didn't know that. I left. I'm back home in New Jersey when I see this, and I call, and let me just say there is a file at Universal with my name on it, and it's probably got a lot of warnings. It's probably I called once with them this way, and the file's probably that thick about the report. It was I had to call about 6 times to get it done. I got cut off 3 due to language. I repeated one word over and over. In fact, I sang songs in that word using only that word.
One of my fellow travel agents, now he lives in Biloxi, Mississippi, which is closer to Florida than PA, but he's kind of like our Universal rep for the company that I work for.
Mm-hmm.
Probably ask him, if it's worth it or not. If, what kind of, because I know with our company with Disney, we're allowed 5 trips down. For the reason why a lot of travel agents are annual pass holders already, it's that, they go down 5 times a year, and that's what we have as our perk.
Sure. As
a travel agent, is that we're able to go down with a TA rate 5 times a year to stay on property.
I get it.
I don't know if our deal with Universal is the same thing. I know I can get cheap, I can get hotels discounted. I know I can get up to 50% off tickets for Universal, but I don't know if it's a one and done or if it's unlimited times as I go down there.
It's also going to depend on how they do ticketing going from here. Because remember, there was a while it was going to be pay by land.
Yeah,
not necessarily pay per day. I think they're going to move away from that because that's hard. I think they want to try to sell a 3. I'm sorry. I know what they're going to say, but it's 3.
Yeah.
You say 4, it's 3. It's a 3-part pass.
Because Volcano Bay is not a theme park.
I love it. It is a themed water park. It is themed. And Main Gate it ain't.
And so is Blizzard Beach. That's well themed. And so is Typhoon Lagoon. That's well themed.
Which Typhoon Lagoon may be opening sooner than everybody thinks.
I heard.
Maybe I think what they said February 15th. They're all saying
something like that. And now Blizzard Beach is pretty much Olaf's Blizzard Beach. The whole thing is a frozen overlay.
Oh, why? What about the gator? Whatever his name is.
You do realize Typhoon Lagoon is most likely going to be a Moana water park.
I know. As long as the crab is the water coaster, that's all I care about.
It will still be Typhoon Lagoon, but you'll start noticing a bunch of Moana theming.
I want the crab to be the theme for the water coaster, and I want to have I want to have it dark with light. Shiny. Come on. I shouldn't be surprised. You know what though? I'm actually okay with Moana being there more than with Olaf being at Blizzard Beach.
I do need to make a Disney annual pass thing though.
About the 2 p.m.
I don't need park reservations.
Yeah.
After 2 p.m., go wherever you want.
I know.
I'm going for a conference, so I'm not going to get there before 2 p.m. while I'm there.
That's what I'm saying. I need to be an AP. Oh, God. And even Florida residents are even getting really good deals again, too.
And Tozer, is Tables of Wonderland still a thing?
I don't know. We didn't get it last time.
I wonder.
I hope so, because it's wonderful.
It is. People, but they'd say, "Do you want it?" And I'd explain it to them. They were like, sometimes they look at me and like, "Trust me, this is going to be very good for you."
I have to double check. I don't know if they brought back Tables of Wonderland or not.
I loved printing those tickets. It was just fun.
But what they did bring back is a new innovative dining plan.
Oh yeah, I like it. I gotta tell you, I like what they're doing.
This
I
is
dig it.
This is actually something I always thought of when the dining plan was around, because for people that having the free dining plan option, or not even when they gave the free promo, just adding that as an add-on feature. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure majority of people who bought it didn't use all of it up. And there was a lot of money left on the table. Because
the amount of people buying snacks, like leaving and just buying absurd amounts of snacks was a lot. And the amount of food you got was a lot. Because most people do not get dessert with lunch.
Right.
But it included it.
Exactly. And I remember the one time we went down, it was our 1-year wedding anniversary or second anniversary. I mean, this was like 10 years ago. We had, because our anniversary, or we got married in September, it was during the Food and Wine Festival, and that's always when they promoted the free dining plan add-on by staying at the parks or staying on property. You get the free meal vouchers. There were couples. And I remember this because it was on the same trip. We were down there for a week. There were like 2 or 3 couples that came up to us that week and said, "Hey, we're leaving today. Here's our dining plan. Like, we're not going to use it." And I'm like, well, then we're going to have to give ours up to somebody else if you guys are giving yours, because like they just like it was just wasted money. And this new program with the gift card idea is just
makes so much more sense.
Absolutely.
Gives them control.
Yeah.
We're not meal eaters, I'm just gonna load up on snacks all day. Like that to me, I was different on the dining plan. I never had things left over. Like snack credits, I can go through snack credits no problem.
Now the catcher though is that this meal plan though, like if you don't use it up after so many days though, it does expire. You can't use them back.
It should be. It's all supposed to be tied to your trip. It should expire.
It is. It's I think like 3 days after 3 days after your trip ends or something like that.
That's easily should be.
The big trap people fell into with the snacks is the first couple of days you would never use them on a beverage because beverages were terrible value for a snack credit. But then you get to the end and you realize you have extra.
Yeah.
Because you don't eat 10 churros a day.
Don't you judge me.
Oh, I'm judging.
Don't you judge me when I do with churros.
Hey.
Those documents have been sealed by the court, sir.
It's okay. You eat 10 churros a day. I eat 10 turkey legs a day. It's all good. You know?
Oh, man.
The
stuffed pretzels and just
and Casey's hot dogs.
Back when the pork shank was a snack credit. Oh my gosh. I could eat 100 pork shanks a day. I could use up all. I would have just stayed there eating them. Those were so delicious.
I just remember like my first time at the Food and Wine Festival. I asked the one key, I said, "Wait, so you're telling me that these count as snack credits?" not meals, snack credits. They're like, yep, I'm going, this is dangerous. This is absolutely
The
dangerous.
snack credits and food and wine were the best combination.
I still wish they ran it differently, but that's my own personal thing. I like that you can use the snack credits. I agree. I just wish they ran the whole thing better for people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you guys feel that this dining gift card is a tier system based off of value, moderate, and deluxe resorts with the
Makes
pricing?
sense.
Makes sense. Why not?
Okay.
You would have a deluxe is going to have more near the would have been the premium dining plan,
Right.
and the value is going to have closer to what would have been the quick service dining plan.
Now,
There's nothing wrong with that.
I have to double check, but I think I don't know. I don't think you can add to it.
You can't. I does not. From what I could tell, you couldn't. But it just makes sense to me because the price you pay should have. And I'm not. And the thing is, I'm not saying the value resorts are cheap, and I'm not saying if that's all people can afford, they should be punished for that. Don't misunderstand anybody listening. I'm just simply saying, if I'm paying Floridian prices, there always should be a little rumination in that.
Well,
and here's the thing:
matches how
free. It's free. It's free. It's included.
Not from Disney's standpoint.
Well, if you wanted to add it to your package, it doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just that.
Oh, perfect. Then why not do it?
That's how. As for a travel agent, this is what we were trained on.
Oh,
this is what we were trained on.
This isn't permanent. Disney's testing this.
Yeah, this is so effective January 10th. Any summer trips like Dozer, if you wanted to add,
I can't. I'm on points.
Oh.
And the trip I booked through you is a cruise.
Well, I'm just saying though. Regardless, you might be able to add if you can't like call them and add it to because of on points.
Points reservations get none of those perks because we're on points.
Yeah,
we are already paying pennies on the dollar.
Gotcha. But yeah, but it's one of those things where it's a form as a travel agent I have to fill out and submit to Disney to allow them to add it to the client's vacation package.
All that says to me, this is either just a promotion or this is a test.
No, this is a test. This is a test. No, this is definitely a test. They're bringing something back or they're doing something.
So here is where I think the genius of this is. One of the big problems with the traditional dining plan system is it forced people into table serve meals, putting undue pressure on the table serve restaurants for capacity they really could never handle.
Mm-hmm.
You think reservations are bad now? 5 years ago, they were worse. You couldn't eat anywhere.
Oh, I know. I know. It was impossible to make reservations.
If it was free dining, fuck it. You were not eating a sit-down meal if your life depended on it.
Even Trail's End was hard to get.
Yeah.
So this takes that undue pressure off of it because most people don't want to eat a sit-down meal a day. They don't because it's a lot of time. It's a 2-3 hour investment to have a sit-down meal. They want to enjoy the parks.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be, but if there's less capacity, the restaurants can handle more. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's taking the pressure off there, putting it on the quick serve restaurants, which are better suited to handle onslaughts of people.
And not to mention, you already have the mobile ordering already in place. So what's nice about this dining card is that once you receive it, you just add it to your Apple Wallet, and with your mobile ordering now with Apple Pay, it's linked up and you're good to go.
Can I just apply it to all food purchases made through the Magic Band? Like, dear God, they could make this so much better.
No, they don't have that set up yet. It's not.
Of course not. The technology back there is ancient and terrible.
Yeah, it's not through Magic Bands. It's either like it's used as like a gift card or through Apple Pay.
Well, in theory, though, couldn't you actually have a system where you put it on file with the hotel as a credit card? style, you could say, "Hey, I charge it to my hotel, pay the most of that with that." Then
Now, if it only applies to food purchases.
the system can figure that out.
Eventually the system will figure it out, but it's only for food purchases.
No,
So-
I know. No, that's what I mean though. The system they have in front of them could easily code that. With the with the hotel system can easily code a food versus merchandise purchase. It's in the system.
But isn't that through the Magic Band though?
No, it's through.
Magic Band was still going back. It's still all the hotel system because they have to charge you at the end. They charge you at the hotel. That's what I'm saying. In theory, you could just be able to use that at the hotel. In theory, I don't know if it would actually work.
Which, by the way, the biggest hack you can do in Disney, and it's why you use the Magic Band, is all purchases through a Disney credit card that are a Disney vacation purchase. So swiping it at a gift shop does not count as a vacation purchase, but a hotel charge does.
Mm-hmm.
So you put it on file at the resort, charge everything through the Disney Visa, and you get 6 months interest free on it.
Yeah, that's how you do it right there. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. The resort can handle this.
The big problem is you have so many competing systems that don't talk to each other.
I'm not saying it will or they will do it. I'm just saying, in theory, the resort should be able to handle this.
And I am going to hazard a guess that they don't want to do it this way because they don't want to run into the issues of people spending well above that.
Yeah.
Right.
And then not having the funds to cover.
Right. Exactly.
No, well, that's what kind of I'm getting at. Like a credit card, it comes a point with your room charges. There's usually a limit they'll allow, unless certain resorts got rid of that. It used to be they had a certain limit. No matter what, you had to go to guest relations to clear it because they want you to know, well, here's how much you've spent already.
Mm-hmm.
You could, again, the resort should easily be able to. Food charges get pulled from this.
So in recent years, you don't have to go to guest relations to do it. It just auto charges when it hits that limit. And it was 300 at a value, 700 at a moderate, and 3,000 at a deluxe.
That's a spike.
Deluxe guests spend differently.
Deluxe guests tend to, you'll get the outlier here or there, but they tend to be buku.
Yeah, it's true.
Like the 300 at a value, I have many a purchase that alone will hit it it'll hit it 2 or 3 times. I've had that happen. Like that's just not high enough for big Disney spenders.
Yeah, because the old system, with that system that they do, I mean, I've had many times I've seen people at guest relations complaining, and I twice, I know in person, I looked at the guy and go, just call the resort. Sir, I used to work here, just call the resort. They're going to clear out the credit card and just make sure you have enough to pay. Double check that this sound good to you, call the resort. That was it. I walked away.
I like it better when it just auto charges. Oddly enough, on my there's a totally different system for DVC.
I believe it.
Because I was never once charged until the end of the trip for the giant trip we had. And I know because a lot of the purchases that happened from everybody went through my room and my card, and I got reimbursed. Never was auto charged once. Till the end.
Was that the trip when you build your lightsaber?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. Now I'm not surprised. I know it was always just a way to try to keep people from going above and beyond.
I think it changed about the time you could access your folio at any time.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Via the apps.
Hey, how hard was it to book that reservation?
Meg booked it. She went on and it was just there one morning. Like at 60 days out, it wasn't there. Like 2 weeks out, they magically appeared.
Hey, you get a cancellation.
Because I'm in a little bit of a challenge here because I want to surprise my friend with because I want to buy him like that experience. Because I did it, and I wanted him to build his lightsaber too for his bachelor
And he'll
party.
get a totally different lightsaber because they have new parts available.
I know, I saw that, which really
Ooh.
makes me mad. 'Cause I kind of want to do it again.
I know. I like the new parts available for
Now,
the.
I thought the new parts were only in Disneyland. So did they have them down in Florida too?
I did not read that much into it.
Oh,
If
wait.
it's in Disneyland, it'll come to Florida.
Okay, because I saw the ones in Disneyland, and I gotta be honest, those lightsabers look actually a little bit cheaper. Like the the designs. It's the same material as the first gen, but the designing of these lightsabers look very plasticky.
Well, not all the parts changed either. So
No, but the I'm trying to think which ones the elemental nature changed out there,
Justice and Peace changed.
and
But what I'm saying is,
yeah.
like within the Justice and Peace, out of the 8 pieces you have to choose from, only 4 changed.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So not every piece has changed.
Well, don't they? I thought they still like you have to ask somebody at Doc Ondars, but I think they actually sell the pieces individually and they charge them like $15 a piece.
I don't know. I may look into that because I want a new end cap on mine. I love mine, but the spikes make it hard to do things with.
Because like if they actually just sell the parts by themselves, I'd rather just do that than pay $210 for a new lightsaber and 20-minute experience that I already went through.
I think the real thing is you should get you should be able to show your pin to be able to buy new parts.
I agree.
That's a good idea.
But you can only buy for the pin you have.
That's fine. As long as they keep coming out with new parts for that particular like series of lightsaber, that whichever one you got.
I've got Justice and Peace. I could go buy new Justice and Peace parts.
And I have elemental nature. You know, I can just get new elemental nature parts.
Because I'd love to change mine up more often.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I have every color kyber crystal, so I did do a shopping spree on that.
You have a black?
No, okay.
To be fair, black really doesn't exist.
It's red. It's red. Even when you turn it on, it's red. It's just the whole, hey, I found 1 out of 100 that day, and it comes with a little note from Snoke.
And it really only has anything different if you have the holocron.
Yeah. Did you see the YouTube video of, I think it was Dano from the Dano channel? He's a big Star Wars like nerd like toy collector. Anyway, he did this really funny YouTube video where he talks about that it was clickbait. The title was how to succeed in finding a black kyber crystal 100%. So I'm like, okay, this is impossible, but let me see what he has to say.
Buy 1,000.
Well, no. What he did was he just took a kyber crystal and spray painted it black. He just bought a red kyber crystal, took spray paint, colored it black, goes, here it is. Here's your black kyber crystal.
So, have you seen the custom kyber crystals?
On like Etsy, the 2 colored ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are awesome. One color, one way, flip it around, it changes the color.
Yeah, it's like blue green, and you can actually get a blue and a green lightsaber, or like purple yellow. Yeah, those are neat.
One pill makes you bigger, one pill makes you small.
Yeah.
They're just cool shit, but man, we have gone on some rabbit holes today.
What other Disney news did they announce recently? Oh, Harmonious is leaving. They've wait. Not just leaving, the barges are gone. They are gone.
The tacos are taken down on Taco Tuesday.
They were removed.
No, will be removed. Will be.
I thought they already slowly got rid of them.
They were started to dismantle.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Harmonious is running till the middle of April.
No, it's Epcot Forever.
No, it switches to Epcot Forever in April.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
it's harmonious till then.
So they're probably keeping the Stargate until the end of April. They're probably slowly getting rid of all the other barges, tearing them down. They're keeping the Stargate until the end of April, probably.
Yeah, I think it's April 3rd they go away. April 4th, everything returns. You get Happily Ever After. You
Epcot
get
Forever.
And then it's like the next day Tron opens. Like, it's this weird-ass week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason in April. Like, it is just a weird week in April.
Which is funny because that's middle of spring break rush.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be a weird time to do this transition.
None of it makes sense. Unless
it has to be something as simple as this. It's an internal thing. They would never do that on purpose. So this has to be here's when it has to happen, kids.
Like, this is the absolute deadline that it's got to happen by.
This is when we run out of the fireworks we need for this show.
Yeah, this is when we have this up to, here's what, because they also are testing it. It has to be, we're ready to go, but when we start enacting it, we got to go.
Right.
The good thing is I don't think there's much changeover to switch over to Happily Ever After.
No, because it's all it's like screen projections.
There isn't. It's more, to me, I think the best is the fact that they were working on Harmonious so long, they had to build in the buffer of Epcot Forever to get through to Harmonious done. And they're just like, we spent so long making this. Next.
What did you guys think of Harmonious? Like, overall, like, what did you guys think of that show? You liked it?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see Epcot Forever because I've missed it every time I've gone.
I've never saw
Epcot Forever, but it's like also for the music of it and everything. It's real nice nostalgia feeling.
Yeah, I saw Epcot Forever on YouTube. I never saw it live. I never saw Enchantment at all, except for YouTube. So
I don't like what they've been doing with the fireworks at the Kingdom. I don't like the all the projections. I don't like the way they're trying to do things like that. The fireworks are up in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
That's the money. This is hard to see. You can only see it from an angle. Even if you don't get the same effect, you can watch the fireworks in the back of the park.
See, and that's how I felt about Harmonious watching that live. Like, I loved the show, but the only viewing point that was available for us was in Japan, on the complete other side of the park, which was fine. We could see the center projection on the Stargate, but like where we were, like, honestly, the only best viewing point is right there at port of entry, and that's reserved.
Well, that's the problem with the thing. The thing is, this theater in the round, like, this is Max Bialystok's Theater in the Square. Nobody had a good seat.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fireworks at Epcot. There's no, unless you make it into quarters and make them all match, there's no way to have this show seen from any angle. It just isn't. And that's okay. That's actually the beauty of it.
The best part of Harmonious was the music.
Yes.
The problem is the music is a solid daytime show music. It is not nighttime show music.
I could see that.
To me, it didn't have a punch of an ending.
I agree.
No Inferno barge.
What was the finale anyway? I don't even remember.
Fireworks from launching from every country.
Yeah.
The music though, like, what was the song playing? Was it just like it was just like
generic
generic.
Disney?
Okay. Yeah, I don't even remember I remember the fireworks coming from all angles.
The music isn't the point there. It's nothing. Listen, it's not We Go On. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Maybe that's another surprise that Iger has up his sleeves. Maybe they're going to bring back or like do a new generation of Illumination.
No, we are not living through the globe again. No,
I'm not saying bring the globe back.
I'm not saying bring the globe back.
The Illumination's branding.
They won't see it that way. I'm telling you. I know Iger. I know these people. They will make us suffer the globe just to please themselves. They will torture us to the globe.
Look, I'm still.
Or even a drone show. Give us a drone show.
I'm still waiting for Paint the Night to come to Magic Kingdom.
The
You-
fact
you're
that they
already-
haven't figured something out is ridiculous.
You're already doing this annoying ass thing where the fireworks are like an hour or two before closing. Like, they're not closing at Magic anymore.
Yeah.
They're ending before closing. It
That's party night shit.
Hmm.
it used to be back in the glory days, fireworks, parade to push people out.
Yep.
Done. That's
Yep.
all it was. Now, I fully understand not running the parade after the fireworks because you have everybody crowding the street. That's just hell.
Even when I worked there, it was fireworks happened. Usually the park was open till 10 or 11. So sometimes it was built in with a buffer, and other times it was about an hour.
But, like, that makes sense when there was still the parade at the final.
Was no
closing.
parade. Was no parade as a final.
I like that. I like you have everybody on Main Street, the fireworks go off, and
No, I agree. I'm with that. I'm just saying that then when I worked there was no the parade as the final because you had to get to the last kiss.
Oh, that's right. The last kiss. I forgot about that.
I will never forget about the last kiss. It's ingrained to my being.
Forgot about that. But yeah, you're right though, Joser. The staple was like
Oh yeah.
that. And they don't have that anymore.
They don't even the nighttime parade in general. Like really, look, I know building a parade would take time. Do not misunderstand that. But you wouldn't figure something out. You're just going to let Paint the Night go. How can you Paint the Night had great music? It was a fun parade. How can you just let that go? And I love Main Street Electrical. Don't get me wrong. It's old in the tooth and it's boring.
okay, I'm just going to say, take Paint the Night. And now take all this beautiful projection you have for Main Street and tie that in with the parade.
Yes. Mind blowing. It would be fantastic.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What the fuck, Disney? This is Paint the Night's one of the best parades you have made in years.
Yeah. I remember that parade out in Disneyland. That was an amazing parade.
I chose wrong. I chose World of Color over Paint the Night. And honestly, people say it's like I'm gonna be on my deathbed. Do you have any regrets? I wish I saw Paint the Night.
I never saw Paint the Night live, but my wedding party entered to it.
Yes, we did.
That's awesome.
What else would I do?
That's actually a great song too for a bridal party to come into.
It's such a good song. The music is so good.
You have
World of Color. I was so overwhelmed by.
Yeah, you have Owl City from Wreck-It Ralph. Then you have like Monsters Inc. in there. You have Cars in there. You have, oh God, what else is in there? Toy Story.
It worked.
Yeah.
It works, and even the general is just a nice, bouncy, jaunty tune.
And then Meg and I entered into It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Nice. Classic.
Hey, I had a Disney themed wedding.
I remember it like I was there.
And it was not at Disney. You guys didn't spend $100,000.
No. I will say, one of the best things of my wedding, because I am especially proud of it, was my table card. My name cards for everybody. They were fast passes.
Yes.
How did you do that?
Adobe Editor, like just Paint or whatever.
You just made it look like a fast pass and just. Oh my God, that's awesome!
Every table was a ride.
That's cool. Was it set up like Magic? Like were they Magic Kingdom rides? Or were they just all rides throughout Disney?
I think mostly Magic Kingdom rides. We may have had Tower of Terror in there.
That's awesome.
But every ride we did was a fast pass ride too. If it didn't have a fast pass, it wasn't there.
That's awesome. Did you guys have like your sweetheart table? Was that like themed to anything at all, or?
No, it
Wedding.
was a generic sweetheart
I
table.
don't know if
It was
I don't-
wedding themed.
I don't know if it was like the Cinderella castle like was sitting there or something like
No.
that or anything like that.
But half the tables,
Partner statue, the partner statue.
I don't even like the partner statue.
Well, no, partner for you and your wife.
I know.
Yeah.
But the half the tables had a ceramic Cinderella's castle,
Mm-hmm.
like a Lennox style,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
And then the other ones had tall firework themed flowers with Tinkerbell coming out of them.
That's awesome. That's cool.
I had fun with my wedding.
It was a great wedding.
We even had guest services there.
Mm-hmm. I wore my GR vest.
Nice.
And
We
as the
even
best man,
violated some copyrights.
as the best man helping out.
Did you open up your speech going, Malwidge?
Who, me?
No.
I believe Robert Goulet showed up for a moment.
Oh
I started by
God.
singing "You Got a Friend in Me." I did my best to mimic the late great Goulet, but you got a friend in me.
Wheezy.
You got a friend in me.
That's cute.
It came out. It was really good.
Then I told a fun story and whatnot. And,
There was
good.
bread involved.
Hey, gotta pick a story people knew or were comfortable with.
Yes. Other big Disney news?
What else did they announce? We got the dining, Tron, free
Fast
parking,
passes.
fast passes, pictures.
I saw something from Bruce.
Nope, I forgot. It had it, and then we started listing. I'm like, oh, I should listen to this. I forgot. Darn.
Was it Universal or was it Disney?
No, it was Disney. I forgot. It was parks. It just because I was like, oh wait, maybe let me listen. I was like, let me listen to the list. Did we cover it? And I forgot.
I think we got them all. I think.
Also, Tables in Wonderland is not back.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. I
think
didn't hear anything about that.
That's sad.
God, I love that.
Hold on, let me look real quick.
The worst part was, at the end of the day, you didn't feel like you were saving anything, but you were.
Mm-hmm.
Because it took a flat 20% off the bill, but then immediately added an 18% gratuity. So you didn't feel like you were saving anything, but you didn't have to leave a tip, so you did.
Yeah, no, that's all I got.
I mean, the Franklin Institute's having their Disney 100 exhibit in Philly,
Yeah, I'm going to have to go up for that.
so I'll probably head out to check that out.
Oh, it's theater, but still Disney. The cast of Hercules at the Paper Mill Playhouse.
I
here.
was gonna.
And
I was just.
the full cast was announced today, and a lot of people believe, even though Disney Theatrics has outwardly publicly said they do not think more than 2 Disney shows can sustain on Broadway at one time. This is not a cast for Hercules. That doesn't tell me that New York is not in play.
Yeah, I meant to ask you about that because I saw that announcement too about the Hercules.
Yeah, and if you saw it on Instagram, if you listen to it, I'm pretty sure that's either the overture or entr'acte playing. But the cast is top notch. Thank you, Back to the Future on Broadway. So Roger Park couldn't be in this. Thank you.
Who's casted as Hades?
Shirley Hensley, who was just on Broadway with Hugh Jackman in The Music Man. He was Frankenstein, a Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He won a Tony Award with Hugh Jackman in the Oklahoma revival. Is just He was in Everybody the Whale, the movie with Brendan Fraser. He was the original guy on stage who did the part.
Yep.
He's so good. Oh, Shirley Hensley's. He's going to be your sassy gay friend, Hades, but it's with who they have as Pain and Panic. These 3 are going to possibly walk away with the show.
Who's Pain and Panic?
Daryl Rivera is going to be Pain and Panic is Jeff Blumenkrauts. It's all Isabel McCall's Meg. It's just the whole cat and the Muses. The Muses are individually, I think each woman could rock a rafter. All together at once, watch out. I go for sure the 25th of February. My buddy's coming in from Chicago. He's super excited. So I'm going at least then, and I'm probably going to try to see it 1 or 2 more times.
Do you know when they're going to release the soundtrack?
No, Brian, no. We're far off from that happening, especially if New York Ambitions, they consider this out of town.
Okay.
That's it. This is consider this like Newsies. This will be an out of this all is trying to decide. That's my understanding. They want to do this. The question is, do they get another theater? I've heard a couple of options rumored. The other big thing, the rumor going around is summer 2023, close Aladdin and throw Herc in there.
I think it's time for Aladdin to.
But they're not. The rumor because Aladdin's not losing some money at this point. The rumor going around is they might want to get another theater for Hercules. Because it's been for over a decade now. They may want to save the Amsterdam for the Beauty and the Beast revival. I actually disagree. I have my own theory on this. I think Hercules will go into the New Amsterdam. I think Beauty and the Beast is going to reopen the Palace.
And then that would be the 2 musicals. Then that would Lion King would leave.
3.
And then
you would have 3, but Beauty and the Beast would be its own because they know that will succeed. They know
Aladdin,
a revival of that would go, so that's why Aladdin would come out. Herc would go in there. Beauty and the Beast eventually at a revival, even just a limited engagement to reopen the Palace and the mainstay Lion King.
I don't know why, but I like the idea of Beauty and the Beast at the Majestic.
The Majestic is a nightmare right now because is a rename going to happen? If so, a lot of people think it's going to become the Prince, the Harold Prince.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should call it the Mask. The question is, okay, I know this is mostly rumor. I know on more authority, it's closer to fact. They were Some Like It Hot, which is playing a hit, could be a hit show this year, playing at the Schubert. It's a fantastic show. The rumor has it they wanted the Majestic. They were talking to them. They almost got it. The only problem was we cannot boot out Phantom. You just can't do that. You would have to, it wasn't going to happen. They wanted this year. They wanted to open when they did, and they were like, we can't boot Phantom.
When
wouldn't be able to open this season.
When's Phantom's final?
April 16th.
It was originally February. They moved it to April because they had time. So that makes me think, there's a show waiting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind Beauty and the Beast at the Majestic. Anywhere but the St. James. Anywhere but the St. James. I mean, not the Lyceum or something small, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I could see Phantom go in there. Or not, or Beauty. I can see Beauty and the Beast.
The show that goes in there, there's a lot of questions. It's going to have to be that's the thing. What's following up there? I think more you're going to have a plaque before anything else. I think you're going to engrave the ground like outside of the Imperial. This was the home of the Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's call it the Phantom.
The Mask.
The Mask.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the Prince. Harold Prince was instrumental for decades on Broadway and theater in general. I'm okay if it was called the Prince. I'd also take the McDonald, but that's another story altogether. I know she's alive. I still think Audra deserves her own theater.
The Weber, sponsored by Kingsford.
Oh, the Weber wouldn't happen. They have a bad.
I got it. No, I got it.
I know what he meant. I got it. Weber Grill. I got what you were going for.
It was good.
I knew what you were doing.
Have a giant plaque out there, a giant smoker outside of the theater.
Andrew Lloyd Webber may have to hide in the city of New York for a while.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like, you picked. Why did you pick then to close Phantom? Because your other show's gonna open, and if the critics use your title against you, which I think they will, Andrew Lloyd, you're not going to be having a very happy closing of Phantom, even if I'm right about the potential rumor of Brightman coming back.
Of what coming back?
As Sarah Brightman or Michael Crawford. I almost say Alex Brightman, like no other Brightman.
yeah, maybe Meg will go see Phantom. Her and Renee are going up to New York sometime in March to go see One More Time of Mulan.
Oh, nice.
Because with Teve back, Meg has to see it again.
Absolutely. Oh, there's going to be so many shows to see. She has all sorts of options. She wants to see something else.
Oh yeah, she's waiting for Renee to say what she wants to see, and I'm like, book the tickets for Moulin Rouge. See what shakes out after that. Don't base everything around the other shows. Base it around what you want to.
Not Josh Groban.
Yeah, I just saw that. I guess he's going to be Sweeney Todd.
He's going to be Sweeney Todd. Actually, believe it or not, he's going to sing the hell out of the part. I don't know if he can be menacing. That'll be interesting to see. And I love Annalise Ashford as an actress. I just don't see her being a very good Lovett.
So, Renee's much more of a theater person than Meg, so they're trying to figure it out. And I'm like, so I just sent the suggestion: why don't you see Phantom one more time? Because they're going for a weekend in New York. Everything's money.
I know, but I'm just saying, Phantom could be a hard get. Then you'd have to look now, depending when in March, beginning or late.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Phantom. The closer it gets to the again, if I'm right and they're secretly planning something, I could be wrong, but that's what I thought was happening.
And if they really, I know this would never happen because Renee's birthday is actually Phantom's closing date.
Oh, a night she'll never forget. My God.
But that ain't happening. If that show is not already sold out,
I don't think they even sold tickets for it. Oh, look,
you don't need to. That'll be invite only. Like
it's gonna be. You're gonna have everybody there because this is the last of the original productions running, and that's part of the reason they're closing. This is actually the money from that. That's the going rumor. Not commenting on who's doing anything or whatnot. Don't need to get that far, but that's because they would have to stop. They could stop paying royalties. That's why they closed it in London and reopened as a smaller production with a different choreographer and different director, because that's the reason why. I just personally hope Phantom goes away. I don't want a Les Mis situation. I don't. You don't miss her, but we can't miss her if she's back every 2 years. I want Phantom gone for a while.
Yeah.
Before I see Phantom, I love Phantom forever. It is the classic of classics right now. And I guess this is it until I think Lion King or Chicago. I forget which opened first. I think Chicago.
Chicago.
Phantom is one of those musicals I would like to see come back with a total reimagining. Modern day the shit out of it.
People are going to think I'm psychotic for saying this. Circle in the Square's biggest hit will be the revival of the Phantom of the Opera. Circle in the Square would be the best Phantom of the Opera that ever Phantom of the Opera. Folks, it's a theater in the round, basically. You can have more of a jut stage, or you can do a full round. Trust me. This would have to only Rachel Chavakin could direct it, because it would have to be artistically done, masterpiece wise.
Yeah, I could see it.
I agree with you. Something, because I don't mind by the number of revivals, but that's usually for things that are like, it's a revival show that has never had one or something or whatnot. But I agree with you. Something like this, the revival needs to be different. Hell, I can't believe I'm about to say this and give this idea into the world. Make it a punk rock Phantom of the Opera. Would you
That's
change
more
all
what
the
I was.
songs?
Yeah.
I was somewhere between punk rock and you're going to hate this even more. Disco.
Get out. Get out. Bad Dozer. Get out.
Like what? Phantom of Studio 54?
Yes! That is literally exactly what I was thinking.
When he said disco, I was like, the only disco I can think of is Studio 54. Is Dozer really want to do a combining of Boogie Nights and the Phantom of the Opera? Or like Saturday Night Fever meets Phantom of the Opera?
Yes!
I don't hate the
Stay
idea.
alive.
That's why I
Stay
said get
alive.
out. I'm like, I actually don't
Well,
hate
you can
this
tell.
idea, believe it or not.
Barry Gibbs. Barry Gibbs is the Phantom.
And that time sharpens.
Let's just take
That's
two
Barry
New York
White.
guys.
Barry Gibbs, Bee Gees.
I know who you're talking about. No, I'm thinking Phantom needs to be Barry White. You're saying like it. Go the opposite.
You're my
Phantom's
first,
always been a
my
more
last,
tenor.
my
Go the
everything.
other direction.
Go
Let's
bass.
just take two New York icons, mash them together. Phantom of
the statue?
CBGBs.
I was gonna say Phantom of
It's
Radio
actually just a
City.
giant pizza rat.
I was gonna say Phantom of Radio City, but okay.
No, Phantom of CBGBs. And
Oh my God.
OM Fug.
The sad part is, I think Andrew Lloyd would say yes.
He would. So he knows. I'll get those royalty checks.
Yeah, because the Phantom of Avita. It's a mashup score.
Oh my God.
Well, you have Phantom of CBGBs, but it's really just a mashup of Phantom and School of Rock.
That would work. I'd be down for that.
Hey, we could get Alex Brightman in.
I'm up for Alex Brightman in anything.
As the Phantom.
Oh my gosh, with his rock tenor, he'd knock it out of the park.
Phantom, but kind of a mashup of Phantom and Beetlejuice.
I was just gonna say his Phantom would be a little bit like Beetlejuice-ish.
He would drop it for. I think he should sing most of it in a more Beetlejuice style voice, except make the two big moments hit. The three big moments hit. The three times he doesn't do it is the back half of All I Ask You, Reprise, Music of the Night, and Point of the Return. Everything else, he can sing in a more gravelly voice.
Yeah.
But those are the only three he has to just, especially Music of the Night. He won't do it at all. He just sang, and then out of nowhere, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
He just sings Brightman style.
Okay, so now we need a female. We need someone who could put butts in seats. This is clearly something. It's an event. We don't.
I got this. It's done. I got this. Hot off of Anne Juliet, impossible Tony Award nomination winner, Betsy Wolfe. She's done. Trust me on this. Betsy's the one. She's knocking it out of the. She's knocking it out of the park in this show.
Bruce, you are looking to Broadway.
Yes, why not? It's Phantom.
It's Phantom of CBGBs.
Yeah.
Lizzie Hale.
I would love it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm thinking Broadway because again, has to be a more. I'm just thinking keep it Broadway.
Yeah,
right.
But Lizzie Hale would be Betsy Wolfe originates. Lizzie Hale's the first replacement.
Understudy.
No, first replacement, not an understudy.
You can't have a celebrity as the understudy.
Betsy Wolfe would be the alternate in that case. But no, I want to give Betsy another shot.
You have Lizzie Hale add guitar to the soundtrack. That's where she electrifies it.
That's what I was thinking. Because like if you make it like more of
the
like
Hailstorm covers are amazing.
Yeah, like if it's a rock opera.
I actually would love that because I thought for a while they did a progressive metal, Sweetie Todd. Get rid of the progressive aspect of it, and I thought Lizzie Hale would make the perfect Mrs. Lovett.
Oh my God, yeah.
In like a rock, and if it's metal style Mrs. Lovett.
Her, or if you want to go, I mean, this is knocking it out of the park for just Lady Gaga. Just came to mind too.
Nope, out. Nope, that's not rock enough. Not what we're doing here.
For Lovett, for Mrs. Lovett, if for
No,
like
but
if you,
for like a metal Sweetie Todd.
oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah,
Yes.
I have it for both roles: Metal Sweeney Todd or Phantom. Floor Jansen.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm here for it.
yeah. I could see that.
Those pipes.
Yeah,
You got it.
I could see Phantom
It-
for the song alone. Just singing Phantom of the Opera. Those notes.
well, Nightwish has always covered Phantom of the Opera.
Yes. Actually,
Really?
it's where
Oh
I
yeah,
think
that's solidly part of their set.
Oh yes, huge.
I have to hear their cover.
Oh, it's fantastic. It really is. Actually, where she would get the audio, but like if she won awards, it would actually, I think, her wishing you were. It's a song I tend not to care for. Wishing You Were Here Again Somehow in the Cemetery. Her version of that would freaking haunt. It would bring tears to people's eyes.
So, just in a weird aside, it's so weird. For years in college, I watched Nightwish, all these videos of them at these giant festivals, selling out stadiums. Do you know where I saw Nightwish? The Trocadero.
Oh my lord.
Wow. Chinatown.
Oh, yeah. Boop.
That theater, I won't even consider that a theater.
That would rattle you to your core.
It did.
Woo!
I mean,
that's one I need big time earplugs, and I need to hold on to something. Because strap in, you are gonna feel the G's from this music.
Yeah. Jesus.
I think, let's see. I think I saw them with a net. So it was not the biggest powerhouse of their singers, but
yeah.
it was
It's just that unfortunately, when you're not big someplace, you could be the biggest star, biggest act anywhere. But if you're not big here, you're not going to sell out.
Nightwish was nothing in the States then.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
There's still not much of anything in the States.
Rammstein's bigger in the States.
I mean, honest to God, that was kind of like how I got to hang out and see Hailstorm, because I mean they're from Lancaster, and there was a bar 10 minutes from my house called the Drinking Bone. It was right on the riverfront in Harrisburg and Wormleysburg on this side of the river. And now it was an acoustic show, because it was basically just literally a biker bar. Like there wasn't even a stage. It was like they were going to set up in a corner. But it was a cool bar. I mean, you walked in, had a horseshoe bar set up, and it was big and massive. Long story short, that place got closed because of underage drinking and all that stuff. But anyway, got to hang out with them on my birthday, partied with them after their set. Down to earth band. They were really cool, but it was before. I mean, I've heard of them because they had a few singles on one, like the local rock stations here and all that stuff, but they were not as big as they are now. So
yeah.
I drank with Vern from CKY at a festival once.
You never know who's going to get famous and when.
I mean, hell, I went Warped Tour. I'll never forget the time I went to Warped Tour back in high school. This was 2004, 2005. It was, anyway, Katy Perry was at a small booth. I mean, no bigger than for two people at Warped Tour. She was selling her single "I Kissed a Girl." Like that was it. Like she wasn't even on the chart. She was just like, here's my EP, here's my single. She was there. I was like, oh, cool. Free samples. Yeah, right on. Hey, Katie. Yeah, just not realizing that she's now like one of the biggest.
But who, you never know, because she might have not have gotten anywhere. It's right place, right time, and if she pushes it through enough.
And again, another Jared Leto, same story. Met him. That was at, again, high school. We went to go see Story of the Year. We were, I think it was in freshman in high school, sophomore. think it was a sophomore in high school. Went up to Rochester, New York to go see Story of the Year for my buddy's birthday. 30 Seconds to Mars opened up for him, and Jared Leto was only famous for 30 Seconds to Mars, and at the time, I think Fight Club was his only film that he was in at the time. They went to their booth after they were performing because they were selling swag. The band was there, got to meet Jared, met the band, bought a few CDs, talked to him for a little bit, and then thought, hey, it was cool. Met a band. Not realizing after the fact, 10, 15 years later, met an Oscar, Academy Award-winning actor.
You never know. I probably told you this. PBA beef, my grandfather, my dad lived in Ringwood. My grandfather was police chief in Ringwood for a long time, long time cop up there at the beefsteaks while I was younger. I was really young, but they, my grandfather just found out had the heart problems. So they weren't sure. They lived plenty after that, but so I was, come on, we'll have him. He wanted to get me out the beefsteak and everything. And we're having a good time. Well, the headline comic who I got to meet was really just starting out. He's really a nobody. Really wasn't anybody of any kind of thing. And when Chris Rock looked at my grandfather and went, something about being in a room full of old white cops like you, it makes me a little nervous. To my grandfather, who was already angry that another comic was picking up.
That's great.
He was nobody, and I saw Dane Cook before he was anybody at that time.
Talk about somebody who was nobody, huge,
and now nobody again. He's back to a nobody.
I saw Chris Rock before he was anything.
Yeah,
he was just at the PBA beefsteak, and he made a bunch of things. He kept, it's not about this. Should be off-putting to me, but here I am up at the sticks in New Jersey telling jokes.
And now he's getting slapped by Will Smith.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy is, did you guys watch? That's the other thing too. Golden Globe, that was bizarre. Golden Globes on a Tuesday night. On a Tuesday night.
You're talking to the wrong person because I don't watch award shows.
I usually
I don't even watch the Tonys.
Wow, I'm surprised about that. But yeah, I was scrolling through Facebook or whatever, and I saw this notification Golden Globes tonight, Tuesday at 8. I'm like, why on a Tuesday? These are normally on a Sunday. Anyway, I watched them. A lot of first-timers this year. The host...
I didn't recognize half the movies.
Steven Spielberg won Best Director for The Fabelmans, which was a really good movie. That's on, if you have HBO Max. Is it on HBO or is it on Apple? I think it's on Apple.
The one I don't have.
Fantastic movie. To the point where I really admire Steven Spielberg now, because this movie, The Fabelmans.
You didn't admire him before?
Well, no. Well, I did, but I respect.
Not like this.
I respect him more as a filmmaker. I'll put it that way. Like, I mean, his films were, growing up, his films were, iconic. But this movie explains who he is today. And it explains, so watching this film, The Fabelmans, I'm like, oh my God, you can see the connection and the relationship, like how he made E.T. and explain the story behind E.T. by watching Fabelmans, or Close Encounters of the Third Kind, or
creating E.T. from what's also spawned Poltergeist.
Well, basically, so The Fabelmans is about a dysfunctional family and about a 13-year-old boy who just wants to make movies.
Okay, I gotcha.
All right. Michelle Williams plays Mrs. Fabelman. She is essentially... So Steven Spielberg came out and said this movie is everything that happened in the film is true, everything is true except for the characters' names. He didn't want to make it a true... He didn't want to sell it as a based on a true story or inspired by a true story, because he didn't want to come off as a narcissist. He didn't want to sound like he was just like, look, this is just a movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it's about my childhood, but it's a movie, right? So watching this, I'm going, wow, like I think more filmmakers need to do these types of stories because everything happened and just seeing this through his eyes as like a 13-year-old kid going through like his life and what happened is I'm like, this is nuts. And then the reflection that he had in his family into his films. So like E.T., for example, you have a mom who's blonde. That was his mom. Single mom raising kids because his dad was never around. He was always working. You have Elliot, who's essentially Steven Spielberg, who's infatuated with this otherworldly being that wants, something more in life, I guess. And then you just see like his passion for Western and war films. So then you have like Saving Private Ryan. And then the best part that I loved about this movie, and this is true too. So when he was a kid, or once he went off to film school, the movie ends with him, I think at like CBS or Paramount or something like that. Actually, no, it was CBS because his first gig was Hogan's Heroes. He was, I think, like a DP or something like that on Hogan's Heroes. So the guy goes, the director, the creator of Hogan's Heroes is like, hey, you want to meet the famous film director of all time? He's like, sure. He goes over and he meets John Ford, the guy that did all of like John Wayne's Western. Like,
oh yeah. Oh,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? And this is a true, like Steven Spielberg as like 22 years old met John Ford.
Wow.
And this is the final scene of the film, and it's fantastic. John Ford is played by guy from Dante's oh my god. Name's David Lynch.
Okay.
David Lynch plays John Ford, and he tells him, he goes, look at that painting over there. Where's the horizon? And he looks, he's like, tell me what you see in that picture. He's like, well, I see two horses. I see, it's like cowboys, whatever. He's like, no, where's the horizon? And he's looking at the picture. He goes, the horizon is like, it's up. He goes, good. Yeah, the horizon's on the top. Look at that painting. What do you see? And he's like, no, where's the horizon? He's like, oh, the horizon's on the bottom of this painting on this other one. He goes, that's correct. He goes, so you want to be a filmmaker, right? And young Steven Spielberg is like, yeah, I want to be a filmmaker. And John Ford tells me, he goes, if the horizon on your talking about a camera shot, if the horizon's on the top, it's interesting. If your horizon's in the bottom, it's interesting. If it's in the center, it looks like shit.
Well, yeah, rule of thirds.
So at the very end of the movie, Steven Spielberg, as he's panning, this is great. The character who's playing Steven Spielberg is like walking off into the sunset horizon on this film lot or whatever, and it's center. And really quick before the credits roll, he shifts up. And I was like,
that's great.
That's why I love Steven Spielberg. That's,
It sounds a lot like how watching Light and Magic really made me understand that without Lucas, modern films would be way different.
Yeah.
Like, we would have got to where we are, I think. But I don't know if it would have been as good.
It would have taken a long time.
I agree. And you're Industrial Light and Magic, and yeah.
Well, the sheer fact that without Lucas, like, that's all modern special effects. That's all CGI. That's fucking Pixar.
Well, and that's the thing too, like and not just Lucas, but like how much is Steve Jobs' hand in that too with Apple and Mac? Because didn't he have a lot of it to do with Pixar? Didn't he have something to do with Pixar?
Yeah, he bought it.
He bought Pixar, but no. He did not have to. He was there for the money end of it. Not like that though.
He wasn't part of like he wasn't part of creative.
He was, but at that point, Lucas had already created what could have gotten him there.
Okay.
That's the thing. Lucas had created all of it that led these people to do this.
And that's
without Lucas creating it, Kaputski.
And I know George is kind of like slowly going off the grid, but that's a movie that needs to be told. The whole, like, not just, I mean, like, maybe a George Lucas film.
It
but
exists. It's called Light and Magic. Literally, this documentary it's about industrial light and magic, but it's really the George Lucas story.
It is telling because Lucas was the head behind the wheel of the brains behind Light and Magic.
And
yeah,
when they got to the final episode and they showed you how they filmed The Mandalorian, and you saw how it's wildly different than everything else that has ever been filmed, and you go, they're still innovating. Holy shit. Like, that wall of screens. I want to stand in that fucking room.
Talk about being in the room where it happens.
Yeah, I want to stand in there. I want to play Mario Kart on that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and it comes back full circle to what we discussed, like, in the beginning about this whole, like, new ride idea. That screen alone can explain, like, I mean, right there, you have rewritability for an attraction.
That screen costs more than most of the Disney rides.
No, I know, but you know what I mean? That same concept where, like, if you want to go on a different ride, like a ride that has, like, those screens and you can put anything on it, something like that type of technology you could definitely use in the parks.
Yeah, easy overlay for anything.
Yeah.
And still be fully immersed, like, you know, whether it could be like an escape room type deal or something, like you could have it on a smaller scale and feel like you are in, and see, God, you know, that's another thing too. I'm thinking, like, you would imagine for them having Hollywood Studios down there at the theme park, and yeah, I know, like, people, you might be mad at me saying this, I might be smacked, but, like, they should go back to how the park was established. You know, bring back types of, like, behind the scenes, you know, movie set style things where you can be interactive and know, like, how movies are made. But with like ILM, like the whole idea with The Mandalorian, just seeing how, like, where we've come so far to make movies and how we can make movies today and this type of.
But see, here's the
Galaxy's Edge killed that.
Also.
Yeah.
And it's the problem. It's the problem MGM always had with this. It's not where they were filmed. It always felt like a show of backstage. Well, yeah, they did stuff there.
It was like set there. No, it was like staged there, but they never actually.
Well, there was some stuff filmed there, but it was never anything of importance.
They
don't have sound stages like they do in Hollywood.
True. Well, maybe not Hollywood Studios then. Maybe Disney Studios out in California should open to the public. And maybe do something at Disney's studios out there, like the actual studio lot, and set aside some land out there.
Just be Universal?
No, not build a full theme park, but maybe do some sort of, like, interact, like maybe a couple of a building or two, maybe set aside, do some interactive things there to do behind the scenes movie making, like maybe a studio tour of some kind.
Because a lot of them offer studio tours. I understand Warner Brothers is one of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, do something like even like a Warner Brothers studio tour idea at the Disney studio out there, and do something where it's interactive.
I believe the worry that I don't know why Disney would be worried more than anyone else is we don't want people seeing behind what we're doing.
I know it's I know why they won't do it. It's because of it's branding, right? It's the idea that they don't want people to peek behind the curtain because it's the branding Disney and it's the Disney magic.
They want us to be the room where the sausage gets made. We just assume that it happens.
And let them have they're putting it on Disney Plus. You want to see it? It's there. It's free.
Yeah.
True. I mean, they can honestly just even do like a behind the scenes movie making thing too on Disney Plus. I'm looking at it from a career standpoint. I'm looking at it as like, look, if they're hunting for people, if people want to get back into work and, you know, maybe pursue movie industry as a possible career choice, maybe doing some sort of studio tour as like a as
I
an
don't think they see
attraction
that where
slash.
I don't
like,
think they see that where the money is.
I just thought studio tour would be a really cool idea.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. I just don't think the pig heads will ever do it. I think it's a genius idea.
Because here's a cute little nod that they can do. They could easily do a revamp of the Backlot Studio Tour from Hollywood Studios out in California.
Oh yes, because everybody needs Catastrophe Canyon.
Maybe do something different, not Catastrophe Canyon, but you know what I mean. Like something on the scale of like make it a studio tour, but with it still being Disney, make it a ride.
I'd actually prefer if they
attraction.
actually did something more akin to a Disney Boneyard attraction.
Ooh, I like that.
Going through talking about old attractions called the Boneyard.
We're just coming full circle because that was the start of the Vault ride.
I love it.
It was, wasn't it?
Oh my god!
It was Disney's Warehouse 13.
Oh my god!
And that's
well,
it.
That different storyline of it, but yes.
Well, there we go. There's the answer.
And
California.
Also, when my ride ends and you return back to like the stable warehouse, the last thing you pass is the crate with the Ark.
Yes.
I was thinking the steamroller from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but I like your idea better.
No, the crate with the Ark. The steamroller is mid-ride.
That's the beginning. That's like the queue. That's like while you're waiting to get boarding the tram. It's like all these props.
Yeah.
From Who Framed Roger Rabbit and the Backlot Tour, all in like cages or something on display.
I love that movie.
On that note,
with the vat of dip.
I have to go to bed, so I'm calling this episode.
Hey, 2:45.
Yeah, we're the idiots.
So you don't have to be.
La, da, da,